Oh, look at that. Nearly 1.3 million teams drafted, and millions of people have already signed up to play fantasy football on ESPN this year. Do us a favor and join the party as we say hello and welcome into our Sports Center special, the Fantasy Draft.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Fantasy Draft season.
This is our crew.
I think this will be a really good
We're going to have a ton of
prep
fun
for the season.
over the next 3 hours conducting our 10th, that's right, 10th annual fantasy football mock draft. Most of you probably know how it works, but for those of you that are wondering aloud, like, how exactly are things going to shake out for the next 3 or so hours? Let's give you the skinny on what is ahead during this draft. There are a total of 10 teams, this table of drafters right there. Our standard scoring at ESPN is PPR scoring. Every time you catch a pass, you get an extra point. From rounds 1 through 5, you get 1 minute between picks, and then we speed things up from rounds 6 and beyond, 45 seconds between picks. Now, I'm supposed to tell you that the draft order was randomly determined. That is probably sort of true, but there may or may not have been a 4-year-old who's the daughter of one of our producers of the show who was the one actually pulling the names out of a hat, and I don't know whether she's up to anything funny, but I do know this. The number 1 pick in the draft was awarded last night. Take a listen to who it was. That, of course, means that Dan Graziano is picking number 1 overall tomorrow night. Graz, how are you feeling about winning this first overall pick?
You're not getting Jamar Chase, is all I'm saying. I turned this show on about a half hour ago, and you guys were talking about Cowboys running backs, so I assumed it was like a 24-team league. So I got to go back and redo all my mock drafts now, knowing that it's a smaller league size.
And there you have it. That's right. Dan Graziano is going to pick first, which means he's going to have a long wait between rounds 1 and 2. He is followed up by Mike Clay right after that, Tyler Fulgham. That makes for some good drama right there. Daniel Dopp, Liz Loza, and then 6 through 10 are as follows. Stephania Bell, Damian Woody, Eric Moody, Anita Marks, and Adam Schefter. It is a snake draft to reiterate, so Shefty may have to wait until pick number 10, then he is right back on the clock at pick number 11. And you've already seen the drafters. Let's get to the drafting. With the first pick, Dan Graziano is officially on the clock.
So it looks like everyone's going to take either Jamar or
Bijan. To or not.
Maybe Saquon.
Anita brought a shirt, hoping she would get him, I guess. But no, it's going to be Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is the pick, number 1 overall.
Because he's always open.
Because he's always open. He's got
Triple crown last year in receiving.
He gets better every year. No contract drama this year. And frankly, I did do a bunch of mocks. I like who my RB1 is if I go receiver early, better than I like who my wide receiver 1 is if I go running back early. So we'll see.
So some consideration to Bijan Robinson, but not a ton.
Bijan, Saquon, Gibbs, but I just felt like receiver was the way to go, and I think there's a clear number 1 at that position.
Okay, so Dan Graziano, to no one's surprise, takes Jamar Chase. By the way, that's the only Dan side of the table over there. Right. With pick number 2 is Mike Clay on the clock for the first time.
Yeah, I don't know if the Dan's together was randomized. This doesn't feel randomized either. Not too happy about this at all. You made my pick for me because it's Jamar Chase or it's Bijan Robinson. I'm going to take Bijan Robinson here with the second pick. The number 1 running back in fantasy as far as I'm concerned. I don't think it's close, frankly. I think he's a pretty safe play after what we saw last season. Obviously, he's very young, going into year number 3 in the NFL. And it wasn't Saquon Barkley who was the number 1 running back in fantasy last year. From week 6 on, it was Bijan Robinson when they finally gave him complete control of that backfield. It had at least 18 touches in all but 1 game. That was a blowout over Carolina. This is the guy in fantasy football right now. I'm glad to get him here.
Okay, so pick number 2, made by Mike Clay. Pick number 3 is being made by, I think, Tyler Fulgham, or whoever that is, sitting next to Mike Clay.
Diva wide receiver.
Wow.
The pick is in, Commissioner Yates.
Okay.
I need you to read that for me.
Just make your pick, man. Come on.
With the third pick in the 2025 ESPN Fantasy Football Marathon Mock Draft, Tyler Fulgham, a.k.a. Diva wide receiver, selects Jahmyr Gibbs, running back.
Give me that jersey. Give me that jersey.
Oh, I'm so mad at you right now.
Give me that jersey.
Oh, I'm so upset.
I'll take a shirt, too. I'm getting all kinds of wardrobe over
I want to make sure that only 1 shirt comes off. I'm not ready for more.
Hey, do you want to tell the world why I picked Jahmyr Gibbs since he's your favorite player?
Because he looks super fast in 0. That's why.
Really? Because you didn't pick him to win Offensive Player of the Year?
You're right.
About
Earlier
30
I did
minutes
not.
ago on Bet.
I'm so frustrated with you, Tyler. I came in here wearing that jersey. I love Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, so
you
do I.
only like him for your fantasy squad. I just want you to know, I hope Nana is disappointed in you that you're
Nana
so
would never be
disrespectful.
disappointed.
I need to do one thing, though, before we go any further. America needs to see this. Tyler is not only wearing gloves and sunglasses. Can we get a full body shot here? Not normally something I ask for on national TV.
I got cleats. I'm ready, baby.
Spikes.
I'm ready.
Why do you own these?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I used to play softball back in the day, and I wanted to be fast. Don't ask me to run a 40 in here. We'll bring the ambulance.
Oh, man. All right, Daniel, I'm sorry, I guess, but you're also on the clock. So you have the fourth pick.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I definitely was going to take.
Did you really think that he was going to make it to 4?
I didn't, but I wanted to wear the jersey with the hopes that maybe the vibes would make it happen. You know what I mean?
This is why no one likes him, right?
I
tried to
exactly.
warn you.
I
tried
get
to
it
warn
now.
you, Daniel.
I get it. I'll say this.
rude.
If I can't get Jahmyr Gibbs, then I'm going to take the other best wide receiver in football, someone who I believe is absolutely quarterback agnostic, and for me, that's Justin Jefferson. The dude is unreal. 5 top 10 finishes over this.
Interesting.
4 top 10 finishes over his first 5 years. The dude is just legit. Doesn't make a difference who's throwing him the football.
You know when you go out to dinner, Daniel, and everybody gets their food and then no one talks? It's like that's acknowledgement that it's a good meal.
Yeah.
You were like, I'm taking Justin Jefferson, and no one
I don't know if anyone has reservations about Jefferson in fantasy
I'll
because
say
the new
something.
quarterback with
Please.
McCarthy and
We've
stuff,
never
but
seen
I think he'll be
Justin-
fine.
J.J. McCarthy throw a pass in
I have.
the NFL regular season. Like, really? Like, there's no
Seen him win a national
concern
title.
for
I don't know who that source is. Yeah.
Justin
no
Jefferson is the
concern.
most quarterback agnostic wide receiver in the NFL. He caught passes from Sam Darnold, who was left for dead by the entirety of the rest of the NFL last year, and he finished as wide receiver.
He
for him.
averaged
Josh
over 100
Dobbs.
yards per game with Nick Mullins under
Nick
center.
Mullins.
I'm not worried about
There's
JJ.
one team in the NFL that has thrown at least 30 touchdown passes each of the last 3 years, and it's that team with about 5 or 6
Kevin
touchdowns.
O'Connell, that's right.
Graz,
I was
welcome
going to
to
say,
join
that's
the
kind of
fantasy
a Kevin
football.
O'Connell stat right there.
Talking about J.J.
You got my
McCarthy
number.
this year. I'm the only one at this table?
Yes,
We'll
you
talk
are.
through this more throughout the
think so.
evening.
No concern.
Really?
Liz
Apparently.
Loza is on the clock here for her first pick, and right in the middle of the order, who are you taking?
Yeah, this is not a difficult choice for me. I'm actually glad that I got to pick 5th so that I could. I don't like it when analysts have like these hot takes, and then when it gets to mock drafting, their takes don't reflect their rankings. I'm the only one who's not coward enough to rank Ashton Genty as my RB3. So give me the freshest legs with the largest projected volume of any running back available in the first round.
Nita is just
And you
apoplectic
were,
right now.
and you were worried about me doing that.
Offering you like a nice bottle of a Coca-Cola later.
Hold on, I just want to point out that Liz Loza took Ashton Genty ahead of Saquon Barkley,
right. Yeah.
ahead of Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Interesting.
How about this,
pick.
though?
I like running backs that aren't walk.
Ahead of CD Lamb.
excuse me? Wow.
Got a
Wow.
T-zone.
Whoa. Mike, you
I'm
had
a little sweaty after that one.
Mike had a comment on
But
the matter.
this side of the table would like
That
a word.
hurts me. I infamously don't like older running backs, and that still hurts. Like Saquon after last year, and McCaffrey coming back. I mean, there's.
I know.
I will say this. Can I say something?
484 total touches, including the postseason.
You're right. Can I say this though? In your defense,
Yeah.
the last 8 running backs picked in the top 12 as rookies were top 10 fantasy running backs. 8 in a row.
But
that
were
picked
they
in the
top
top 12
3?
or top 10.
Yeah.
That's the question.
If he's top 10, you're going to be fine. I mean, you'll be fine if he finishes RB9. It'll pay
Also,
off,
I mean, Saquon Barkley, as a rookie attached to a questionable Giants offense, was the RB1 overall back in 2018.
Highest
So there
scoring
is
rookie in
precedent.
fantasy football history, as a matter of fact, was Saquon Barkley back in 2018. Stefania Bell on the clock, and Christian McCaffrey sitting there waiting for you. If you want him.
There's a lot of drama in this pick, is there not? You guys all know where I'm going. I put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to take Christian McCaffrey, and I am actually thrilled that he landed here because I thought, Daniel, with all the love you were showing to Christian McCaffrey on the podcast, that you might take him when Jahmyr Gibbs was gone. But no, you did not.
I decided to hold off, and I think I'll address the running back position in the next coming rounds. But when you can get a wide receiver as good as Justin Jefferson, you're not going to go wrong with either one of these picks, right? They're both superstars.
We have concerns with
bragging
McCaffrey, though.
on the
I mean,
number of
injuries are
receptions that
impossible
you
to
have
predict,
projected
but
for CMC. And then I remind people that there's a lot of other people who are banged up for the 49ers who also catch passes.
Might be more than that.
He might end up with more than that.
It's crazy to me that. Would anyone here be shocked if CMC is the #1 overall fantasy player?
No.
I would.
not if he's
We
healthy.
have 7 players into this draft, and I think we have 7 players who could be feasibly, realistically, the number one
And
overall
someone
player.
very notable has not gone yet.
This is a deep draft.
Damian Woody on the clock here with the 7th pick. Who you taking? There is a totally unexpected Saquon Barkley still.
I was going to say, if you can get Saquon at 7 in your draft,
cool
people
right now
take him.
because this pick is so easy for me. I'm going Saquon Barkley right now. And listen, I get it. I understand that the year that Saquon Barkley had last year was unprecedented. Big time player. I think it's going to be more the same. I think so. He's not going to rush for 2,000. But that's apropos right there. But no, he's still running behind the best offensive line in football, and I'm going Saquon.
Big Papa Moody on the clock here at number 8 for your first pick.
Shouldn't it play now?
Yeah.
Look at Shefty with the Masters
Team
pullover.
Moody selects CD Lamb.
Stays home. You're a Texas kid. And here you go.
So
Lamb,
you live in Texas.
At the
Jerry World's nearby. You can't go wrong with CD Lamb. All the rapport that he has with Dak Prescott. Should be a ton of targets. Not too worried about George Pickens. Both of those wide receivers can coexist, so this will be a good start to the fantasy team.
Easy to envision a scenario in which CeeDee Lamb is the highest scoring wide receiver in all of fantasy football this year. It's been a mere, 2 seasons?
We've seen it before,
exactly that. Yep. Anita Marks, you were on the clock at pick number 9. It sounds like you were thinking Ashton Jeanty might have been there for you.
Yeah, because I was stuck in my hotel room all day. And I had like 20-something drafts, and on ESPN mock draft, which I highly recommend you do. And every single one of them, I got Jeanty. That's why I was like, dude, you got to leave Jeanty to me. This is what I'm prepared for. But this is what's happened. I got to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like right now, how can you not? That offense is explosive. They play in Detroit. They've got a controlled environment. He's an absolute stud. So that's what I'm rolling with.
Yeah.
Okay, there you have it. Amon-Ra St. Brown comes off the board at pick number 9. Just a few spots lower than where he was last year. He still had great raw numbers last season. A little more up and down compared to that usual Mr. Consistency you typically get from Amon-Ra. And that means our final pick of the first round comes down to the man who actually knew the draft order 3 weeks ago. It's Adam Schefter. What are the sources doing?
I will say that there were sources who told me that Puka and Malik Neighbors would be the top 2 players on the board at this point in the draft. And so off the top, we will take at number 10. Did I do something?
Oh, no,
Give it away beyond
Take
that. You're good.
Neighbors.
Yeah,
We'll take
you can just announce it.
Malik Neighbors.
Okay, Malik Neighbors. And by the way, Shefty, bite your tongue on pick number 11. We'll get back to the next segment. But Malik Neighbors, talk us through
So
this
5
pick at number 10.
receivers, 5 running backs.
Listen, his target
First
share
round.
last year was off the charts. He is the most talented player on their roster. He is somebody that I think can have a huge target share again, a huge role, huge numbers. Field, I drafted him last year in the War Room.
Yeah, it was a brilliant
I
pick.
was a satisfied customer.
Yeah.
I'm back for more.
I think he's one of the great values in fantasy football, which sounds wild when the guy's going in the back end of the first round. But I said this about CeeDee Lamb at pick 8. He could be wide receiver 1. So could Malik Neighbors. You're getting basically a full round discount compared to Jamar Chase, which is to take nothing away whatsoever from Jamar Chase. Just remind you of how good Malik Neighbors can be. Look at how many people have already signed up and how many teams have already been drafted here on ESPN Fantasy. 1.294 million and counting. Let's get that number to well north of 1.5 million by the time it is all said and done. But do not go anywhere because our mock draft is just one round in. We have plenty more to come. And Shefty is back on the clock when we return here on our SportsCenter special.
Where are you going?
Just moments away from round 2 kicking off here of our mock draft. Let's take a look back at round number 1. No surprise at the top. Jamar Chase, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Justin Jefferson. Perhaps the first curveball of the night, Liz Loza grabbing Ashton Jeanty 5th overall. Christian McCaffrey goes ahead of Saquon Barkley, who ends up going 7th off the board. And then 3 receivers, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Malik Neighbors finish up the round, which means 5 running backs, 5 wide receivers in round 1. Adam Schefter concluded round 1 with Malik Neighbors. Shefty, right back on the clock. You had previously suggested Puka Nacua could be the pick. You got a minute to decide.
Yeah, I changed my mind.
Spicy.
Audible.
And I figure in a 10-team league where there are a lot of wide receivers, I'm going to be able to find wide receiver help
Take Derrick Henry
everywhere.
or
So instead, I'm going to go back to a guy that I also took last year, along with Malik Neighbors, and that was Brock Bowers.
Positional edge, right, Shefty?
What's that?
The positional edge you're gaining right now. Wow.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. And I got a T-shirt as an edge too.
There you go. So who here had the Raiders as the second team to have 2 players taken in the fantasy draft? The Lions were first.
No
yeah.
Not me, but can't go wrong with Brock Bowers.
Who last season had the most catches of any tight end, not just amongst 2024 tight ends, but amongst rookie tight ends, all tight ends in NFL history, except for Zach Ertz, who had 116 one year. The guy was amazing. From Shefty, we go back to Anita Marks. Anita is not wearing a, who was your first round pick again?
My first round pick was Amon-Ra St. Brown.
But no Amon-Ra shirt yet.
No.
Okay.
But like I've got Derrick Henry sitting here.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, how many T-shirts do you own?
You don't even want to know.
I tend to do.
No, you really don't.
500?
You really, I have like an entire room.
I thought you were going to say warehouse.
I've got Nico Collins. I might have to request the help of one Mike Clay here.
Excuse me?
How you feeling?
First
about
time
that?
for everything, yeah.
Whoa.
A few
As
things.
one
Like,
does.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Okay, I would suggest.
I'm
got a
on
nice
the fence
t-shirt.
here with Nico Collins. I'm on the fence with Derrick Henry. I know you got Jonathan Taylor listed above Derrick Henry this year.
You got 10
I feel
seconds.
I've got 10 seconds. Who should I pick?
You're Puka Nacua. I mean, you're listing a lot
No,
of guys.
I'm not going with Puka. I'm worried about
You want a
Stafford.
running back?
Eric Moody can
You
snipe
have to
in
pick one of
3,
those guys?
2,
Taylor.
1.
Jonathan Taylor.
Okay, Jonathan Taylor. Wow, Mike Clay on behalf of Anita Marks.
We almost had a Vikings
Do I
situation there.
get Taylor now? I don't. How does this work?
Friend.
Jonathan
Do I
Taylor.
get half his points? Is that-
I think Jonathan Taylor wants Daniel Jones to start this year.
So do I.
Anthony Richardson. That would be bad things for Jonathan Taylor's passing game work, right? I see Eric Moody shaking his head. You called him the potential Saquon Barkley of 2025.
I'm in pain.
Oh.
I'm in pain like Jasper
Why? Because
from
did I steal?
Twilight.
Did I steal him from you? Is that why? You wanted him?
You did.
Okay. Do you? Let me ask you. Do you believe Daniel Jones is going to start this year over Anthony Richardson?
I would prefer Daniel.
Twilight.
I would prefer. Yeah.
This is why I like you.
I know.
I don't know, Jack.
I know.
But do you like her because she just took the guy you were going to take?
Well, for that reason I do not. But as always say, Field, I've got a contingency plan. We'll just have to wait to see what it is.
Well, you're on the clock.
Oh, I am. I lose so much of that pick. Okay, I'm going to put it out there. All right, so Derrick Henry, Team Moody selected.
All right.
Okay, well done.
So I did talk about Derrick Henry last night, of course. I think he averaged 20 touches and 20 fantasy points per game last year. Finishes the RB4. Got to love that Ravens offensive line. So, you did take my Jonathan Taylor, so I'll go with Derrick Henry.
Actually, Mike
I'll do my
Clay.
best to get my composure.
I know you were doing
for future picks, but hey, I don't get Taylor, but Derrick Henry's a great consolation.
I have a question for you. Have you been disarmed by Tyler and his swag? Is it the sunglasses? Is it the fresh haircut? The gloves?
Yeah, I'm
jersey?
like, Tyler Fulgham doesn't have any effect on me.
Oh,
Oh, I like it. Everyone's turning on Tyler, finally.
I know. I'm like, I see him walking in with this, and I'm just like, I'm looking at him as like a mark, for this fantasy football draft. I'm just like, look at this guy.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I remember that. I'm going to route you up out there in the fourth quarter.
He's going to route you up.
We'll see about that. We'll see
D.
about
Woody back on the clock here after grabbing Saquon Barkley and an excellent value, pick number 7 in round 1.
Yeah, so, you're from Texas. You live in Texas.
I do live in Texas.
So I'm going to Texas.
Okay.
To the Houston Texans.
All right.
Nico Collins.
Like what I'm hearing here.
Yeah,
Like it.
Nico Collins.
That's a good pick.
Yep.
28.5% target share last year for Nico Collins. There are more pieces in that wide receiver core this year, but D. Wood, clearly the man for C.J. Stroud.
Absolutely. We know, question marks in the backfield. Nico Collins is the guy in that Houston Texans offense. So I think C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins will hook up a lot of times this year.
Okay, so Stephon DeBell still on the board here, I should say, and still available to pick.
Hasn't been voted off yet.
That happens in round 5. We start voting people
Is
off.
this
Mike will
fantasy
be first.
football island? That could be fun.
Puka Nacua still sitting there, pick number 15.
I know.
Not something I often see.
Listen, I feel like this is the night that everything that I've spoken about, I'm going to have to prove that I'm confident in it. And I told you,
I wouldn't do that.
put your money where your mouth
You
is.
said Stafford.
Stefania.
You're not worried about
do it.
Stafford.
Let him go.
I want him. I'm trying to get.
Why don't you let him go another couple picks?
You know,
he's not getting
do
me.
I get a better grade?
Yes.
If I,
Yes.
Oh, okay. No, I'm going to go with Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
Because I think he is quarterback. Look, you guys act like Jimmy G didn't lead the 49ers to a Super Bowl.
Oh.
You know, I mean, if Jimmy G has to be the starter for the Rams, other than that week 5 and week 10, I think when they play the 49ers, the Rams are going to do great.
When was the last time we saw Jimmy G throw a
I mean, they're not going to make the playoffs with Jimmy G. But.
Listen, when you go to the Super Bowl, yes. And here's the point, though. All he needs to do is be able to execute the offense. He needs to be able to distribute the ball. He's good at that.
Yeah.
You can't. Damn.
What?
We need to discuss Stafford, though. Apparently, he hasn't practiced all training camp. He had an epidural in his back. Now he's doing something else for his back.
I'm doing my Devontae Adams impression.
That's kind of a problem.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yes.
So I was at practice last week, and Devontae Adams caught a touchdown pass from Jimmy G. Looked just fine to me. So did Puka Nacua. Have the pics on my phone if you'd like to see them.
Jimmy G, great one. Now he's got Sean McVay.
And by the way, I'm saying that, and I'm not in panic mode about Matthew Stafford. I understand. I will say this again. I do believe that Sean McVay is someone that I love because he's very transparent about what's happening with the team. Yeah. He's always filling you in. Not practicing today. We hope practices tomorrow. This is what we think. And then what happens is sometimes things don't fully go according to plan. Exhibit A this week, and then people are asking questions. He's like, we're just taking it one day at a time, and everybody goes, now it's one day at a time. It's like, no, he's just tired of answering this.
That's why
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about Matthew Stafford. Exactly.
Forgot they did get Devontae Adams.
He will being you, Sean McVay.
Yeah.
You can thank Sean McVay all you like. He's a wonderful gentleman. One of his acolytes is now, do you know that?
That's a good word.
Okay, thank you. One of his
Acolytes, agnostic, anything else so far tonight?
Oh, you don't even know the word you were using on the bed earlier tonight.
Metamorphizing. But one of his acolytes is now in Atlanta. And I like what he's done with the Falcons' offense, particularly
Kyle
when
Pitts in round 2, huh?
You know, it's a thought, but I really like the contested catch abilities of one Drake London, and I think he'd be a wonderful wide receiver. One for my squad. I don't mind another 1,200 receiving yards and like 8 touchdowns in 2025.
There you have it. Drake London, who in 3 starts with Michael Penix Jr. last year had 39 targets. How about that? Including one game with 18 targets. Seems that there's a chemistry so far between those two and what will be the second season for Penix under center in Atlanta. Daniel Dopp, you were heartbroken last time after Tyler so rudely took Jahmyr Gibbs away from you.
And took your jersey.
It was really disrespectful is what it felt like. I felt like I was slapped in the face on national television in spite of the fact that I'm clearly the Jahmyr Gibbs guy at the table. And I have his magazine in front of me even. However, there's another running back on the clock that's also pretty quick and shifty for what it's worth. And that guy's name is Devon Achane. And I'm going to go there for my next running back. I have to believe that this is a guy, when you look at what he did last year, obviously he added a whole nother element in the pass catching version of his game, right? Number 5 overall from a PPR perspective. And I think this dude, regardless of what the offense is going to look like, he's got a role, whether it's through the air or on the ground. So Devon Achane is going to be my guy.
Okay, there you have it. Devon Achane, who, of course, as Daniel noted, had a massive receiving season last year. Tyler Fulgham, who, did you have Devon Achane on your radar?
I did have him on my radar. Nana was happy. I'll think about it. All right. Nana was happy with his performance last year, so she's rooting for you this year. I do want to go elite tight end, and I was hoping Shefty's pick would fall to me, but I'm happy to take Trey McBride. I'll take Trey McBride, who, according to these hodgepodge projections, is 1 point less.
That was perfect to me.
1 point less than Brock Bowers. So I'll take that, and what I'll also convince myself gives me an edge in weeks 16 and 17, potentially your fantasy playoffs. The Cardinals play the Falcons and the Bengals. What do we think of those defenses coming into this season?
Not a whole lot.
No. Exactly. So McBride could be in for huge games at the most opportune time for your team in the playoffs when you need it. He could go nuts in week 16 and 17.
Now, if he can find the end zone this year, it'd be great.
Gosh. Yep.
He's got to score. He's got to score at least 2, right?
Can you take off your sunglasses? Because I'd like to see your eyes.
Oh
gosh.
It's a diva wide receiver. Mike Clay back on the board. You are on the clock with number 19 overall, Mike.
Huh? I hope you wanted Trey.
I mean, I do like getting one of the top tight ends if I can in fantasy drafts this season, especially in 12-teamers. But I'm okay with Brian Thomas Jr. was the number 4 scoring fantasy receiver last year. I know we really picked it up with Mac Jones down the stretch, but Liam Cohen's Buccaneers were pretty darn good to the wide receiver position last year, and now he goes down to Jacksonville. So I'm happy to get
Chris
Thomas
Godwin,
here
before he got hurt last year, was wide receiver 1 in fantasy
Bijan Robinson,
under Liam
Cohen's
Cohen's OC with the Bucs.
Wow, I didn't realize that. A little foreshadowing there.
Brian Thomas Jr., who had 6
like that
straight games with 10 or more targets at the end of last season.
Right.
And, of course, Travis Hunter there, but we'll see whether that has any impact whatsoever on Brian Thomas Jr. Graz, your patience paid off as you are back on the clock for your first of 2 picks in a row.
And my guy, Bucky Irving, who also had a big year in Liam Cohen's Buccaneers offense last year. We talked about him last night on Only Dan's.
We did.
A special late night episode. Bucky Irving's a pick here. I got him as an RB1. This is why I go Jamar Chase when I have the first pick, because I'd much rather have Bucky Irving as my number 1 running back than, T. Higgins or Ladd McConkey as my number 1 wide receiver. No offense to those guys, but it doesn't feel like number 1 wide receiver to me. So I got the running back that I love, and I'm very happy.
I don't love having the number 1 pick in fantasy, but that's a solid draft right there. Picking first and 20th.
Receiver, I should say. 2 picks under the belt. I'm looking for the tote board somewhere right now. I am being told that we have had many more teams drafted, and millions of people have already signed up to play on ESPN Fantasy. Nearly 1.31 drafted teams. There we go. We have crossed that threshold, and we have so much more to go. Graz back on the clock when round 3 begins. Do not go anywhere as part of this SportsCenter special. It's our fantasy draft, thanks to our friends over at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Picks, Dan Graziano, you are on the clock. I am on the side of the Only Dans now.
Those are good running backs. This is something I wouldn't do if I wasn't at the turn, but I'm going to pick Josh Allen.
Oh,
because I really want one of these top 4 or 5 quarterbacks.
Yep.
And I don't know if they're going to come back to me. So Josh Allen's the pick here because I'm not picking again for a while. I might regret not taking Chase Brown or Josh Jacobs and beefing up at a running back, but I got my favorite quarterback.
You, Dan, stick together because I know that Daniel Dopp is thrilled that Chase Brown is still available.
I am, but I got a couple more picks that got to get to me, Field James.
Oh, dang it. All right. Well, Mike, don't do it then, you jerk.
Is this Josh?
Yeah.
That is Josh.
This is one of them times where I want to just pretend I'm taking someone, but I'm not going to do that because I can't pass on Josh Jacobs here. I have to take him. Tyler, you and I did some segments on EBL down the stretch last season. We were doing every single week, Sunday morning. We were doing these touchdown parlays, and every single week I was like, well, number 1's easy, Josh Jacobs, right? And what do you do? 8 straight games with a touchdown to finish the regular season last year. He was fantastic in his first year in Green Bay. Nothing's going to change this year. They're going to run the ball, especially as the temperatures drop. So give me Josh Jacobs to go with Bijan Robinson.
That's not the kind of thing that regresses to the mean, or is that
well, yeah.
articles?
It's a great question.
That's why you're the regression guy. That's why we bring you.
I read about it.
I'm not going to project him to. I'm not going to project touchdowns in 8 consecutive games, but will he score 12 touchdowns this year in
Does he
17
catch
games?
the ball enough for you?
Yes. Yeah, he does. What do you have last year? 40 touchdowns.
Well, more importantly, he had a touchdown catch for the first time in his career.
That's right, he does.
It took Josh Jacobs until year 6 of his career to have 1 touchdown catch. He finally got it.
Unfortunately for the Pack, too, guys like Marshawn Lloyd, who they may have drafted to be a complimentary piece, have had major injury issues, which is mean they just had to feed Josh Jacobs the rock, and that might continue this year.
I just think he gets serious. He's got the sunglasses on.
I know.
No, he's making a serious point. I didn't expect
The very disarming Tyler Fulgham is back on the clock here.
I'm going to adopt the strategy that Dan is using here. I'm not going to get an elite quarterback unless I take one right now, and Lamar Jackson is about as elite as it gets at quarterback. So at these 1Z positions like QB and tight end, I have guys who can literally lead the position. I don't need to say anything about what Lamar does. He's maybe the best dual threat quarterback of all time.
He is.
Maybe the only concern is that the Ravens are so good this year that they, don't need him to be as heroic on offense, but that's like a 1% chance. I think no matter what, the floor is so high and the ceiling is astronomical. Lamar Jackson, enough said.
Not much debate there as Lamar goes off the board at pick 23. Daniel Dopp, you're up.
As soon as Tyler did that, my first thought was, yes. Channel my inner Moneyball because I get Chase Brown to join the squad.
What can Chase Brown do for you? We're going to find out right now.
I've been talking about him nonstop on the Fantasy Focus Football podcast.
He reminds you of?
I think that he is Austin Eckler-like. The way that they're going to utilize him in this offense. Last year when he became the starter in Week 9, after that he was RB2 in targets, RB2 in catches, running back 3 in goal-to-go rush attempts, and running back 4 in fantasy points per game. So you're telling me he plays on an offense that's just nonstop going to score points? The defense sucks. So they're going to have to continue to be able to be an offensive-minded football team. And he gets all the passing game work, and he's the guy that touches the ball at the goal line. Like, what else am I supposed to want out of a running back?
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
It all sounds awesome. Yeah. Liz Loza, back on the clock at 25.
I had a feeling that my friend Daniel Dapp was going to take Chase Brown because we are both in on the continued breakout of one.
And you know what? That proved to be a fact.
Thank you. Thanks, Field.
See what I'm doing?
Not just a feeling, but a fact. All right, thank you. So I am going to take factually a quarterback that has been a top 8 producer at the position for 3 straight seasons, the majority of the offense returning. Give me one Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Like over Jaden Daniels, huh? You are here to mess stuff up, as you say.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Here you go, Boo.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
No, nothing wrong.
You get a t-shirt.
He'll still push his way to
Remember,
Super Bowl champion Jalen Hurts.
Everybody thinks alike. Nobody is thinking Liz going her own way here. She's.
I just want to throw this out. Like the majority of information or advice that we give people is wait till the later rounds to draft quarterbacks. Yeah. But now we've got 3 that have gone in the
exceptions this year, right?
Yeah, in the third round. I'm just like, why are we doing that?
I think there's
They want that premium at quarterback and tight end, and after like 3 of them, they're all gone.
All these guys run like it's
You can still use the old strategy though.
My strategy this year, especially in 12-team leagues, is to get one of the big 4 quarterbacks and one of the top tight ends, which is why Tyler copied that strategy.
Yeah, how you doing with that?
But it didn't work. You know, this is why you have to be flexible in the draft. You can't just.
So this year you're not waiting till round 7, 8, 9
I want one
to
of the
draft
big
a
4
quarterback.
if I can get them. But like I could pass on Josh Jacobs there.
But note taken.
That's what I'm doing.
I think she needs to read your playbook on.
Well, that's why she just asked me to make her pick last round. She didn't read it yet.
Mention like the big 4 and all that. You know, we'll send her the link.
All right,
I'm here to help.
on the clock.
That's what I'm here
26.
for.
Yeah, I don't need any time at all because Liz just gifted me the quarterback that I want. That's Jaden Daniels.
Stefania, this is just in case I lose my luggage again.
Okay. And I have to cook for you. We can do this.
Lend me your clothes.
Yeah. So, but thank you very much. I know Jaden Daniels. I love everything about Jaden Daniels, and I think his star is going to continue to rise. I don't even think I really need to make a case here. I'm with you. There's like the big 4, and then I'm sort of on the bubble with Joe Burrow. Kind of depends what else I have in my draft so far. I'm pretty happy with my draft. I don't mind adding Jaden Daniels here.
A+ so far, Stefania Bell.
Oh, wow.
This is my goal.
Early grading.
Right.
I like
D. Woody on the clock.
She's slipping me some cash. That's why she's sitting here. I got every pick she makes, another
I'm
50.
so angry. No, not at you. At my friend Stefania. I was just sitting back, I'm like, just please let somebody let them slide to me. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, Woody. You know
I'm going AJ Brown.
Yeah,
I'm going AJ Brown.
Had a feeling you were going to do
Yeah,
that.
I'm going AJ Brown.
Last round.
AJ Brown.
Why do you think he fell so far?
Why do I think AJ Brown fell so far? I don't know.
I'll tell you why.
Low volume passing.
He just does it every year, and he's just that boring. You know, everybody wants a shiny new object.
He's incredible.
And he just keeps getting it done.
What if
T.
Saquon
Higgins
does
and
fall
Tyreek
off,
Hill have fallen
and they need
pretty
to throw
far
the ball
too.
more, and their defense isn't as dominant, and they actually
Damien's
have their
protected
first
himself,
right?
right?
I think AJ Brown's a great value.
I got Saquon and AJ. Why not?
Number 27. AJ, who is, as we know, an avid reader on the sidelines and a very good value, pick 27. Eric Moody, back on the clock. Did you want AJ Brown? By the way, you are on the clock.
I just got to keep my composure since my picks. People keep taking them. Like I was looking at A.J. Brown there as well. But I guess I'll have to continue saying I've got a contingency plan because I do. So Team Moody drafts. I'm going to go with Kyron Williams here.
All right.
Kyron Williams.
So I'm going to go with Kyron Williams. So I want to really solidify the way I'm building this team, like with the running back position. And I look at Williams as one of like the safest bets in fantasy football right now. And I think nobody really seems to care. You look over the last 2 seasons, he scored 31 touchdowns, tied for the most amongst running backs. A guy who's averaged 18.8 fantasy points per game, which ranks 4th at the position. So I really like Williams. I just want to solidify running back. We'll see what happens at wide receiver and tight end. But I'm looking at this board, and I'm like, just look at this QB run. I see this run, but I don't want to take part in it yet. So I'll go with Williams.
I also don't like running for what it's worth. I don't want to take part in that at all.
We would never do an actual marathon, a fantasy football marathon. Sign
Very
us up.
different.
Anita, your T-shirt stack is dwindling, but still some good options there. Who are you taking at number 29?
Actually, I have so many. So I pack a bag. But the guy that I want is here.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
Okay. I mean, who can cover him? No. Seriously. Who can cover him?
Not me.
Nobody so far. Yeah.
Nobody.
Not us. Yeah.
Nobody.
Maybe Tyler.
Tyler thinks he can.
Tyler might think he could cover him with those cleats and those red gloves.
I taught him his release package. So.
But I just coming into his second year with Justin Herbert,
what about Keenan Allen returning to Los Angeles?
Who?
Yeah, we're not worried about no Keenan Allen.
120 targets last year for the Bears.
Wow.
To me, it's
Rashawn
all
Slater out too.
It's all about lad. For me.
It's all about your lad. There you have it. Shefty, to wrap things up here in round 3, you are back on the clock.
We'll follow it up with another Los Angeles Charger.
Oh, I know where you're going. Oh,
wow.
Oh, Marion.
Yeah.
Number 30.
I love that pick.
You know, it's interesting, Shefty, is Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator of the Chargers earlier today, was talking about how even if Najee Harris is unavailable in week 1, Omarion Hampton's going to have to cede some work to other running backs.
And Najee Harris practiced today for the first time.
I know, yeah.
That's a good question.
Mostly, Omarion Hampton, if you're playing in a league with me, just stay away from that guy. If they're going to give somebody else work, you got to be careful. There you have it. 4 quarterbacks in the 3rd round. We have so much more to go, including Shefty right back on the clock to kick off round 4 in just a matter of moments. 4 QBs, no surprise. The order, that's one that could be debated probably all the way until the season begins. Stick with us. We're having a blast here on the Mock Draft. Joe Burrow, one of the absolute surgeons in all of fantasy football, a guy who had a monster season last year. Adam Schefter is on the clock as we begin round 4. But Shefty, we have some news involving a Chargers running back that is not the one that you just took moments ago, Omarion Hampton.
Yeah, Field, we found out Najee Harris ran and participated in drills with a football today for the first time in training camp, off to the side with an athletic trainer, but he was out there and he was holding a football. Undaunted, I still picked Omarion Hampton.
You're going Najee now just to double up?
Yeah.
Make sure?
There was another running back in the news today who ended his holding in Buffalo.
Oh, nice.
Adam! We just had this conversation in the break. Seriously, dude.
Okay. I'm not calling my play. I called Nana. I went to the source.
That's right. She knows running backs.
James Cook. Buffalo Bills.
All right.
There you have it. James Cook, who tied for the NFL lead with 16 rushing touchdowns last season, comes off the board at pick number 31. Anita Marks, much to your chagrin, but at least you are now on the clock.
I'm curious, like, how many of your friends want you in their fantasy league? It's not even fair that you just picked up your phone and like text and said, "Hey, are you getting a deal done?" And and like, that's not fair.
That's the reality.
Just so people know, in the break, I asked Adam, "Who are you drafting?" He said, "Joe Burrow." I said, "Okay." I said, "Is James Cook? Is he going to get a deal done?" And he said, "Oh, sure." And then a minute before we came back from break, he's like, "Oh, I changed my pick."
Anita, you are now 20 seconds away from getting auto pick.
I know.
It's
my clay game.
ruthless. Ruthless fantasy football.
All right. Give me Joe Burrow.
There you go.
I'm bold.
I'll trade you James Cook for Joe. No.
I got to be honest with you,
Give me
Anita.
this guy right here.
I actually think, that's great. Like, you got Joe Burrow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should be happy.
He's got swag.
He does.
There you go.
I guess she.
You just have a
go ahead.
hot running back right
just
now.
asked Anita before we came back from break, are you taking Joe Burrow? Like, you just asked Adam, and you were like, absolutely not. And then you did the same thing.
That's
Joe Burrow, 5th quarterback
Keep your
off
wits
the
about
board.
you
by the way.
during fantasy.
I guess, how do I follow that up?
That's
Just
tough.
follow the
You don't
board.
want to get too high, too
All
low.
right, so, wow, okay, now that took place. So Team Moody selects T. Higgins. So I am glad that you selected Joe
Love T.
Burrow.
Higgins.
I was afraid you were going to
Following the
select T.
board.
Higgins,
Love
but one
T.
thing about
Higgins.
Higgins I like, 12 games last season, he posted career high marks. If you look in touchdowns and fantasy points per game, both of which rank top 6 at the position. He's got Joe Burrow throwing him the football. He's got Jamar Chase there. I've got someone who can be an elite wide receiver one if Jamar Chase misses time.
I'm surprised.
How could you pass up on that?
I'm surprised you took T. Higgins over Mike Evans.
Yes.
Wow.
There was a good stretch of games last year when T and Jamar were playing together. T out-targeted Jamar.
Exactly.
And now, it makes sense. Defenses are focusing on Jamar. You got to pick your poison there.
I
But
can't
T can
take
take
you
advantage.
seriously with those shades. Thank
He's doing
you.
that thing again.
I have to sit right next to him. How do you think
Whose pick is it?
All right, who's up?
Woody.
Well,
I feel so distant over here, guys.
Buddy.
Nice.
we all know that Stefania's a huge 49ers fan, so
Dang it.
I'm going
no,
with
you're
George
not.
Kittle.
No, you're not.
I'm going George Kittle.
George Kittle.
Are you personal now?
Yeah,
Is that what just happened? Are
please
we
don't hate.
beefing?
Please don't hate me.
Great value for Woody all night.
Yes.
A.J. Brown last
Woody.
round, Barkley at 7, now George Kittle.
Look, he's still gold.
Crushing us.
Got a little George Kittle
See
dance
what they
going on
did
over
there
there.
with Stefania? Still
so,
gold.
you know how,
I gave a jersey to Tyler and he put it on. Damien, are you going to try to put on?
It looked
I
like
can put it on my forearm.
I thought it looked like it would fit.
Yeah, it would fit on my forearm. Yeah.
you know you're supposed to have a contingency plan.
I've heard that.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
It's kind of floating around.
I kind of had one.
Yeah.
Here,
Well, hey, you really like Ricky Pearsall. Liz is going to call you a coward if you don't take him.
Wow.
Jump on him now.
Liz can call me all
I mean, there's
kinds
still
of
Garrett
things.
Wilson,
I
Terry
would only call
McLaurin.
you my friend, Stefan.
No,
Some good
see?
receivers.
Don't try. It's not going to work.
Buttering you
Not
up.
going to work.
Trying to, I'm doing what I can.
I'm going to go with, I just have this feeling that all is going to end well here. I'm going to go with Terry McLaurin.
Okay. Jerry McLaurin, hey, Shefty, any 30-second update that you can provide on that contract?
It's been status quo. Again, I think to Stefania's point, there's too much for both sides not to figure out a solution at some point. It's August 12th. The deal doesn't have to get done on August 12th. It has to get done on August 30th.
Yeah.
Somewhere around. They got a couple of weeks to go. And Field. We got the Commanders on Monday Night Football this week. We'll be talking plenty about Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, like Adam Peters over in Washington is a master of roster construction and showed that with how he started to build league. I'm confident that this is going to get done.
All right.
And I'll pair him up with my Jaden Daniels. Remember how I took Jaden Daniels?
Oh, little
That's
stat.
right.
Yeah,
Like that.
That
Over
was
to
who
Liz
had
Lowe's
that
that we
stack last
go.
year in the war room.
Touchdowns, you get 2.
that's right.
That very stack.
That's
Jaden
right.
Daniels and Terry McLaurin.
That'll work.
All right.
Liz?
Good work.
Well, this is interesting because I feel like I'm getting everything I want, which
That never
It's a
happened.
nice life. isn't it?
yeah, that's just true right now. You know
Champagne
it well, right?
problems.
You know so I vibe. We got martinis, sunglasses, and Kenneth Walker working with Clint Kubiak. So
I like Kenneth Walker.
I'm very happy to have him as my RB2.
pick.
And
Oh, whoa, hold on. Kenneth Walker didn't practice today. Foot injury.
Oh, no.
That's
Okay.
true.
do I look worried? Is the T-zone sweating? T-zone is bone dry, baby.
I don't know. Foot injury and a running back, and also
should
Kenneth
he be
Walker.
worried?
Adam, it's
Well,
only August 12th.
There's also a guy named Zach Charbonnet.
Right.
If any of you want to grab him later, try to
And then
scare me,
trade to
that's
you. Yeah.
Had both of them on the War Room team last year, too.
I mean, Shefty, I feel like we've talked about a lot of your team from last year.
Yeah.
I know.
Impressive
It's amazing
stuff.
I didn't win the championship.
It's amazing.
It is. It's amazing.
Liz to Daniel. Daniel picked number 37 overall as we continue through the 4th round.
I already got 2 running backs here and Justin Jefferson at the wide receiver spot. And so I think I'm just going to take the best wide receiver on the board. Had a down year last year, but I think there is some positive regression coming. Oh, I'm so sorry, Tyler. Does that hurt
Thank you
your
for doing that.
feelings?
Thank you for doing
I'm taking Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill might be one of the biggest swing players in all of fantasy football this season. The
I was eyeing
Apex
him up.
version of him is, as we know, amongst the very best players in all of fantasy. But we saw last year that the down version of Tyreek Hill can be downright difficult to manage. Daniel Dopp takes a big swing, though, at number 37.
I was eyeing him up, but I knew he wouldn't get past you, so thank you for sniping.
I got you.
That makes me feel better.
I don't think Tyler's going to cry, though,
Yeah,
because I know exactly where
Oh,
he's
he's
going
crying
to
under
go.
there. I could see
He's
him
going to
there.
take
There
it
is
like
a
someone from
single
his
team.
favorite team.
I shouldn't have stood on that
Contingency plan
island
is-
with
yeah.
you yesterday. You would have known my plan.
That's true.
Well, I did want Tyreek, but my boy Devontae, and I need a wide receiver. I'm a diva wide receiver.
Right.
I need a wide receiver on my team, which I'm waiting until round 4. I will take Devontae Adams with my LA Rams. He's not really a diva archetype. He's just a technician who goes out there, even at his advanced age, and just routes people up and gets open.
Isn't he like 31?
In your home as well?
No, I don't. And I don't want to see Devontae eating Taco Bell at this age. He's out in LA now. Get in your amortal chamber with your red light.
Grab some In and Out when you're done.
Breakfast with Matthew.
Yeah.
It worked for Cooper Kupp. Breakfast with Matthew. Or Jimmy
Tyler
G.
goes patient at wide receiver. This is his first one and 4 picks made so far. Mike, on the clock, did you have any interest in Devontae Adams?
I did. I think he'll be perfectly fine. I have him one spot ahead of the guy I'm going to draft right here, which is Jackson Smith and Jigba. Fine to go with him. The talk in Seattle is there's going to be a lot of 12 personnel, 13 personnel, and 21 personnel, and who knows, but if that personnel's on the field when they're throwing, that means there's only 2 receivers out there, and they're going to get a bulk of the targets, much like JSN did last season. He's going to be terrific this year. Sam Darnold's a quarterback. We know he can, at the very minimum, get the ball to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and T.J. Hawkinson last year. So I'm happy to have JSN in the fourth round? Fourth round here is my number 2 receiver.
End of the fourth round for JSN, which means we are back to Dan Graziano for his first of 2 picks, one of which will, of course, take place in round 5.
I want to take a running back. I like the running back options that are here. But, Daniel, remember the other running back I was talking about when we were on Only Dan's last night? Do you remember who it was?
No, I remember the running back I talked about.
You remember the bathrobes.
I remember the deep V and the chest hair.
Travion Henderson.
Travion Henderson.
Travion Henderson. That's my money where my mouth is. I think he's going to be awesome for the Patriots. I think he's going to be an explosive playmaker with a major role. And I'm taking him in the 4th round. Travion Henderson.
Henderson is amongst the fastest rising players on ESPN.
He did.
All right, good.
There you have it. Henderson goes at the end of the 4th round. He is soaring right now in ADP. Yeah. We'll see whether it gets this high. That being said, it's Graz's team. He does what?
Travion was really good the other night.
Up, and how about this? Over 1.3 million teams drafted, and many more millions of people signed up for ESPN Fantasy. 1.337 million teams drafted so far. Get in on the action. Head on over. Be part of the ESPN Fantasy team. Round 5 coming around the corner. So Tyler's got this thing where the only thing that changes is his wardrobe like every 10 minutes. Put on a show. Sartorially splendid Tyler Fulgham. You comfortable at least?
Yeah, very comfy. These are super sticky. The glasses feel good. I mean, I'm feeling good. I got a great team.
What's the practical use of those gloves day to day for you?
It helps me hold on to all of the fantasy championships I've won.
Right. Wow.
In my days.
Where are they?
In your mind.
That's where, yeah.
Where are they at?
I keep them at home, locked up safely.
Yeah, convenient. Yeah, convenient. We haven't seen them.
I don't need to show them off. I don't need to, peacock around here with fake belts like you.
I did. I brought all my belts today.
Tyler's going
it was
for
hard to carry them.
A very subtle look inside.
Yeah, clearly going
subtle with anything.
Humble king.
Yeah.
On the clock here in round 5 of our mock draft, a reminder, this is the final round that we have in which you get a minute to make a pick. Graz back on the clock. Just took Travion Henderson at the end of round 4. Round 5, who you got?
I'm getting all the guys I want. I don't know whether that makes me an idiot or a genius.
That's never good.
Right, exactly. The only way this would have been more perfect is if Kittle was still here, because I want to go tight end, and I feel like it's drying up in terms of the elite guys, so I am going to take...
There's only been 3 taken.
That's how quickly.
That's what I'm saying.
That's his point.
But you're like, I know, elite, like that was going to go in a hurry.
So there were 3 elite. I think Sam Laporta could be. We've seen it before. Sam Laporta is my pick here because I don't love the drop off to the next tight end group.
Okay, Daniel top. No tight end for you, or no Detroit line for you.
Yeah, I'm upset about that.
A few picks,
Sorry,
but
buddy.
Mike Clay back on the clock here. I feel like Mike and Tyler have kept it rather cordial so far tonight.
He just said he got sniped by Dan. I heard him under his breath say he wanted Laporta.
Really?
I did. I'm trying to get one of the top tight ends this year. I do feel like they're in tiers. I want Bowers or McBride. Obviously, you guys went a little early on them, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Next tier down is George Kittle. Missed out on him, so I was going to go Laporta here, knowing we're going to go back all the way around. So I feel like those 4 are the guys I'm most comfortable with. So
I like trading.
That's not going to happen here. All right, we'll talk.
All right.
We'll talk. I'm going to go another direction here. I think I'm going to go back to the wide receiver position, and I'm actually going to go for a little bit more upside. It's only a 10-team league. We're only starting 2 receivers in a flex, so I want to aim for a guy that I think can make a huge leap this season. He let us down a little last year, but he went a lot earlier last year. Marvin Harrison Jr. In Arizona. They have to they have to be more creative. They have to design ways to get the
crazy.
ball
You
in
still
his
got
hands.
Mike
Zero
Evans, DK
design
Metcalf.
screens for him last year makes no sense. I know that he's a
Garrett
downfield
Wilson,
producer,
like I
but you have
mentioned.
to find ways to get the ball in his hands. I think they do a better job of that this season. So give me the upside here.
0 design screens, you said, from Marvin Harrison Jr.
Zero. One of the very few receivers in the NFL.
Feels like that could come up. Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah.
Like, give me
I would
10.
think.
Yeah, regression.
1. Yeah.
Regression to the positive. Tyler Fulgham on the clock here, pick 43. Did you want Marv?
Marv was not on my card. Marv was not in my queue.
No surprise.
I'm thinking running back here.
Okay.
I want to get a second running back to pair with Jahmyr Gibbs. This is an uninspiring part of the draft altogether, so it's really hard to find who you want. But I do think the New York Jets may lead the NFL in rush attempts this year as a team.
Yep.
And Breece Hall is a guy who can play on third downs, and he can catch the ball in the backfield. And we've seen him create big plays in his career before. So I'm going to take Breece Hall, pair him with my uber ace, Jahmyr Gibbs, and I think I have two very capable pass-catching running backs in a PPR format that now I can do what I do best and focus on receiver the rest of the draft and really dominate by loading up on some value at the wide receiver position the rest of the way.
A few moments ago, I described Tyreek Hill as one of the biggest swing players in all of fantasy football. Breece Hall, not that far behind. As we know the talent of him, Damian has talked about how the Jets really want this guy involved in the passing game. But is he going to run the football a lot? Or is it going to be Braylon Allen, that 235-pound stallion from Wisconsin who was drafted last year in the 4th round? Dopper back on the clock. No Lions yet for you.
No Lions yet. I was going to take Sam Laporta if he made it back to me, but you know what? If he's going to end up on a team, at least it's on an Only Dance team. So I can't be upset about
He's in
that.
good hands.
I think I'm going to look, and he just continues to fall. I mean, you're talking about a running back on the Jets that you're wondering if he's going to catch passes, but what about Garrett Wilson?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Garrett Wilson here and get him as my third wide receiver. He's had over 148 targets every single year of his career. He's had 1,000 yards every single year of his career. He played with some scrub quarterback, and he was still wide receiver 10 last year. And so if he can do that with that dude, I understand the question mark, but I don't think I'll fit in this, Anita, for what it's worth. But I'm going with Garrett Wilson as my wide receiver 3.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So he's been top 6 in targets all 3 years so far and has not finished top 20 in points per game yet in situations where he could get a lot of volume. He just hasn't scored touchdowns. And now you have Justin Fields there. This is going to be probably, to your point, the lowest volume pass offense in the NFL. I'm worried that you just drafted him at his ceiling. He just can't do more than this. Like he's a mid-range wide receiver 2. He won't get above that with Justin Fields.
I just applaud.
But it's about 25 times a game.
How do you feel about that?
Fifth round.
Fifth round for Garrett Wilson? I don't think that's terrible value. He already slid way past ADP.
You know what, though?
As a
I'm
wide
just asking
receiver
a
3.
question. I just asked a question.
I definitely understand the concern. I think the reason why he fell is all the concerns that you just listed out. Otherwise, he'd be way higher on this list. But I totally get what you're saying. I'm just going to buy the idea that this is an unbelievably talented football player.
Reunited with
That's
Fields.
his friend from college.
Yep.
Remember how DJ Moore got fed pretty good by Justin
sure
Fields
did.
a couple years ago, right? Like it can happen.
Look at this Only
can
Dance
happen.
backing
Dan,
each other
right
up.
together.
Yeah.
No, right?
Dan
I don't like this. You're getting a little too chummy.
I know.
Yeah.
You guys like wore the
whooped
same
us up.
colors.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah.
Honolulu Blue.
Liz, who is not a Dan, is on the clock.
No, I'm not a Dan, but I have a feeling that this pick might be the beginning of some tension between Stefania and I.
Oh, boy.
It's making me feel a little bit nervous.
Ricky Pearsall?
No, it's not Ricky Pearsall. It's Mike Evans, a player that I know Stefania likes very much, and for good reason, because he has cleared 1,000 yards in every single campaign of his 11 going on 12-year career, double-digit touchdowns in back-to-back seasons. I don't see him slowing down. Something about Jerry Rice just put him on my team.
Okay, there you have it. Mike Evans, the ageless wonder, continues for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Damian Woody, you are up now.
No, it's the
No, it's my
I'm
turn.
sorry,
but that's
Stefania.
okay. I'm often overlooked. I'm not, my feelings aren't hurt or anything. I'm just going to
Liz
sit
was
here
just
quietly.
saying about your name.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. Fields, you've been doing a lot of work. You've been doing the heavy lifting. I'm going to give you a mulligan here.
Thanks.
Besides, I'm going to make a very unsexy pick, so it's not going to get a lot of attention. This isn't a flash player. It's not some star rookie. It's just a guy.
Chuba Hubbard.
It's actually, you're close because I was debating, but.
Can you let us know? What are you doing right now?
I'm going to go with Alvin Kamara. Because Alvin Kamara is still going to get a ton of work. He's my second. I mean, at this point in the draft, I think the pick is incredible value for what he brings. Do you know he's never played fewer than 13 games in a season, which for a running back,
Pretty durable, and the Saints are going to be awful, but Kamara should still be fine for fantasy.
I know.
Someone's got to get the ball.
I have my stable of running
Maybe they could get
backs
Michael
is
Thomas
like,
back.
29 and 30.
His saving grace is going to be maybe
Hopefully
similar to
Olave
CMC
stays
is
healthy,
no matter
but-
what, he'll catch a ton of football.
That's
Even if the
that's what I'm
efficiency isn't
looking at.
there.
I want a pass catching running back.
Whoa.
I'm going to qualify.
Is it time for another break?
I can cut the tension with some Kamara stats.
If older means 30, well.
Anyway.
Oh my God.
I was going to follow that up with them, but I don't dare. Not
Shefty,
this
you on
crap.
like a historic role the past few days.
Wow.
He really has been red hot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to pivot from there. I think it is actually your turn this time, Damian.
Yeah. What was that name you said?
James Conner.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
James Conner. Yes.
I'm not sure if we have enough time.
Oh, man.
That's the foggiest kind of guy.
That's right. Send it my way.
James Conner goes to pick number 47, 5 straight years as a top 20 running back for James Conner,
She
who
said you
played
wanted
16
Evans.
games
I don't
last
know.
year.
It's all
Eric Moody.
I'm just laughing. We
I
had
like
that.
how the ladies are making the men blush.
Exchange where you said that, Adam, and then we have Damian taking James Conner, and then Stefania's. I'm like, you two are talking about tension. I'm like, it's tension where Alvin Kamara's gone. That's what I was going for.
Oh,
But
man. Did you have a contingency plan?
of course I do, Field. That's
He's
going to be my
Eric Moody.
tagline. Yeah.
Like a Boy Scout. Always comes prepared.
I kind of prefer Batman,
Oh,
contingency plan.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
so,
Stop.
all
I
right.
mean, if you're giving anyone, it's Batman.
Okay. All right.
That's
So,
serving.
all right. But we got to
What
stay
is happening?
focused, right? I'm getting distracted here.
We got 20 seconds.
You got
I
20
know. Field, so Team Moody will select DK Metcalf.
DK
They'll go
Metcalf.
DK Metcalf. Not my original plan, but I love the connection. You've got Metcalf and you've got Aaron Rodgers. So I'm kind of excited to see what this duo does, and especially with Metcalf being so prolific in the end zone. And I think Rodgers is going to feed him quite a bit. So I'll go with Metcalf in my flex.
Okay. DK Metcalf, welcome to not just Pittsburgh, but also Eric Moody's team at the near end of round 5.
So
Anita,
to start around
you're
6,
on the clock
Baker's
here.
still going to be on the board.
What do you do with players
Mahomes,
when they get traded? You
Brees
have a
Hall.
T-shirt of them. Like DK Metcalf.
So it's interesting. So at the start of every season, I have to go through my plethora of T-shirts, and I have to throw out at least 20 of them because players who were traded or they don't play any longer or whatever. And
Can we at least donate?
I do.
Okay, good. All right.
I do donate.
I had a feeling you did.
I do, Fields.
Okay, great. Who are you thinking? I'm distracting you.
Way to take 30 seconds off the clock. I got you, Field. You want me to get this? I got it for you.
Shefty Venmo'd me. He's got somebody he really wants right now.
Like I'm not excited about this pick. It's between Hubbard, Swift, or DJ Moore. What do I do, Mike Clay? You're
Take Chuba.
How many players we got?
You're the
Implicit trust
We all
right
rank.
here.
Also, we all rank.
Chuba Hubbard. You have one running back, and you need a second running back. I got you.
Wow. Chuba Hubbard it is. No T-shirt.
No.
Co-managed.
Who has a T-shirt of Hubbard? You.
A lot of people can't.
If anyone would, you
Hubbard, nobody has a T-shirt of
Say
Hubbard.
Liz,
She has
Nita
Nico
has
Dowdle, Trevor Etienne, Jonathan Brooks.
the Vikings long snapper. Like, well, who has Chuba Hubbard? All right, Shefty, you were on the clock to round out round number 5.
Well, we'll take DJ Moore, the Chicago Bears wide receiver. Looks like he's going to be the #1 option in the Bears offense, and happy to make him my wide receiver too.
Okay.
You know what's funny about him? Everyone wants him to fail this year because everyone wants Roma Dunze. Everyone wants your guy. Everyone wants Luther Burden to happen. Everyone wants Colston Loveland to happen.
They paid DJ Moore a lot of money last year.
Yeah, but everyone wants him to go away in fantasy, so the sleeper's paying out this year.
93
This
catches.
is the saddest
perfectly good
round.
value.
Like everybody took somebody. They're like, I don't know.
That's round 5. Yeah, that checks out.
Beyond this round, we have 45 seconds. So if you're disappointed by your pick, you have less time to be disappointed by it. We still have much more to come here on our fantasy draft. And by the way, grow be part of the growing number of teams that have been drafted. 1.35 million teams and counting there. And plus, millions of others have signed up for the ESPN Fantasy app. Be a part of the experience this year. We promise you it is the best way to play fantasy football. Oh, Shefty and Anita having fun so far tonight as we roll into round 6 of our mock draft. Very intensely studying their next pick are both Shefty and Anita. Shefty on the clock. Here's pick number 51. 45 seconds a pop. People start acting fast.
Field, last year I referred to a number of guys that I picked on my team. Last year in the War Room, I took Malik Neighbors, I took Brock Bowers, I also took Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
We'll take Calvin Ridley right now.
Good boy. I was eyeing that one right there.
Hey, Terry McLaurin with a great rookie quarterback blew up last year. I think Calvin Ridley can do the same.
Like that comparison right there by Tyler.
Yeah.
Anita Marks back on the clock. Did you have your eyes on Calvin Ridley?
I love Calvin Ridley this season, but I have my eye on a tight end that I'm really I won't use the word shocked, but surprised he's still on the board. I have a picture of him. Can you zoom in? Who doesn't want a quarterback who's sitting in the Everglades with an alligator in his hands?
Okay. Is that Travie?
That's Travis.
Is that Travie?
Oh my!
I still don't know who it was.
That is.
Who doesn't want that?
I think that's Travis Kelce. We'll give the credit to GQ there. I'm pretty sure that's from GQ, but Travis Kelce comes off the board, and you
like it.
Okay.
All right.
There you have it.
How's he still on the board? He still has Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback.
He does. He's some questions about whether the peak of his powers is behind him, but that's part of the reason why he's still available in round 6.
That's right.
Moody, on the clock, my friend.
All right, I am on the clock. Team Moody selects R.J. Harvey.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, and so I know a lot of us here are talking about, hey, this is so uninspiring. I don't like any of these guys.
That's a reach.
I don't want them on my team. But I'm like,
she just said that's a reach after she took Travis Kelce.
no, that's what you took the words right out of my mouth.
6th round of 2025.
Let's do the pro and con here of R.J. Harvey. The pros are what?
Yeah, the pros, he's with Sean Payton in that offense. You got Joe Lombardi there in Denver. You got a solid offensive line. But going back to Alvin Kamara, right? I'm like, he could be the Alvin Kamara of this Denver Broncos team.
Sure.
And so I'm very excited to have him as my RB3. So.
And Anita, your retort to that is?
I love the pick. I love it. I had him. Look, I have him highlighted.
I thought you called it a reach.
Well, now you can cross him out.
And I'm really upset. I know, and I'm very upset that I had to cross him out. I love the pick.
So did you like Travis Kelce over Hawkinson?
Yes.
Hawkinson was still available.
He might go off the board pretty soon.
Maybe not for long.
Still available.
Honestly, I can't believe Mark Andrews, player like him, is still out there.
With the same team and go Cortland Sutton.
Okay.
Nice.
He of $23 million per year money now. Cortland Sutton, who had over 1,000 yards last season for the Broncos, and I think Eric Mooney might have wanted himself some Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, no, I did. I'm like, you look at Sutton, he had 2 consecutive seasons with at least 8 touchdowns, ranked in the top 10 in end zone targets, career year with Bo Nix. And you just think about it, he's someone you can draft as like a flex option or a wide receiver 3. But if Bo Nix takes another step forward in 2025, I'm like, you look at Sutton, he could flirt with wide receiver 2 value.
Sure. Didn't you just pass on him 1 pick ago?
Yeah.
Could have just taken him.
Well, I was going to take him when I was back on the clock, but it didn't really pan out.
That's a long time away. That was a bold risk right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, sometimes bold risks pay off, sometimes they don't. Stephania Bell, pick 55.
Yeah, I'm going to take the tight end that Anita should have taken at this point, and that's T.J. Hawkinson.
Wow.
Sorry, Daniel.
Little brother.
Love you,
That's
bye.
okay.
I was going to say, for the record, has he ever been spotted in the same room as Daniel?
No, he has not. He has not. He is Daniel's doppelganger. But more importantly, T.J. Hawkinson last year proved that he was past the ACL injury, came back, played, which really helps a player coming into the following season. We know the return to performance is better. A year later, T.J. Hawkinson will be very active in that Minnesota Vikings offense. I expect J.J. McCarthy to make good use of it.
Yeah, perhaps especially early with no Jordan Addison for the first 3 weeks of the season. All right, so Liz, you are on the clock. Not sure if you're thinking about Hawkinson there.
I was thinking about Hawkinson. I love that pick, Stephania. You know, we always say that one of the best to execute on a good draft, you should really know your league mates. I happen to know mine pretty well. Which is why I'm going to tell you right now that I'm going to take J-Mo.
Liz!
And
I don't have any. What other Lions am I supposed to draft now?
J-Mo's like wide receiver 30.
Elliott, pick 56.
Seems pretty low.
He only caught 58 balls last year, but he averaged over 17 yards per reception. I think there's going to the breakout will only continue this year. And you know, I don't really mean to be a jerk, but you don't need any Lions on your team, especially when Ben Johnson is on my real life.
Oh, wow. That's just a shot.
Rome is on the board.
She wanted to be a jerk, but I think she's kidding.
With all due respect.
You know what's interesting about this all, Daniel? Is you know how Mike typically catches a lot of flack? Like, Mike also has a bit of, sometimes because he's so analytically informed, throw cold water on stuff, right? You'd be like, yeah, I'm really excited about this guy. Mike would be like, he's literally going to be 7th in target share on his own team. Daniel is Mr. Positivity, right? Like, be kind to everybody, love yourself, love each other. And then tonight it's been snipe. Liz, verbal jab at you. Like,
this is
did
what
you
you
do something earlier today?
We're creating a monster.
I feel like this is one of those things you guys are like trying to get me to turn it into.
This is the origin story.
Right?
This is your origin story.
Exactly.
Yeah. My job's done. I just sit back and relax. I started the chaos, and then
Would you have taken Jameson Williams at 57?
I would not take him at 57, but I would have taken him in the next pick at 64.
Okay.
So it sounds like you're saying Liz reached is what you're
I'm not saying that. No, not.
No,
I'm not saying that.
I deserved it. I deserved it.
He wouldn't have been there at 64.
You would have taken him? All right. All right. Well, with me being on the clock right now, I already got 3 great wide receivers, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, and Garrett Wilson. And why not grab a guy that over the last 9 games has averaged 19.5 fantasy points per game?
Yep.
And that's Rashee Rice.
Yeah.
I am getting him at wide receiver 4 value. And when he is healthy and starting, he literally delivers top 10 wide receiver production. I love this dude. I don't even need to draft another wide receiver for the rest of the night.
Raz, did you go to Chiefs training camp this spring? This summer? No. Okay.
No, I did not.
I was going to ask you if you'd heard anything when you were around there. You or Shefty got any sort of, no Rashee Rice updates
on
right
suspension?
now?
No, I don't get a sense of when that's coming.
This season.
Before this season. I mean, he'll miss games this season.
And again, I think the baseline in the personal conduct policy is 6 games.
Yeah.
So if I had to bet, I would bet 6 games, but
it's the kind of thing a lot of times it gets like negotiated, right, with the players union.
Right. Well,
but who's running the players union? So
a little bit of a problem there. All right, Tyler Folger back on the clock, pick 58. Did you want Jameson Williams?
No, I was considering Rashee Rice because I'm building my team to be dominant in November and December.
That's
and
right.
If he's out for the first 4 or 5, 6 games, I can make up for it and have a hammer to come in the playoffs. But George Pickens. I'll stand on an island for George Pickens. I could potentially wait and see if he comes back around, but I'm not going to take that risk because he's a guy I want. And since I only have Devontae Adams at wide receiver right now, I can't take that risk. This Dallas defense could be terrible. Dak Prescott and Brian Schottenheimer will throw the football. Dak will cook. And CD and George Pickens could both be 1,200-yard receivers, I think, this year. I think they could both be kind of wide receiver 1. So I'll bet on the diva that has been George Pickens at wide receiver because I know how to handle a diva.
Can I ask you a question, Tyler? Yeah. Are those gloves screen sensitive?
They're not. I've been trying. It's an issue.
You know what? Let me make your picks for you.
Mike now has control for the rest of the night there.
Kickers are
Oh, gosh. All right. Now, Mike on the clock at 59.
All right, so we were just talking about Rashee Rice and could potentially be out for 6 games to start the season. So give me Xavier Worthy, who's going to pick up some steam early on in the year. And honestly, throughout the season, we saw he finished last year averaging about 8.5 targets per game, was Patrick Mahomes' go-to guy. And again, I think when everyone's healthy around him, maybe that dips a little bit, but they drafted him in the first round for a reason. He's going to be a big part of this offense that I think will be more explosive, that throws the ball a lot, that will score more touchdowns, I believe. So I like the talent here for Xavier Worthy. He's on my bench, so I could just plug him in with, whatever I want.
Exactly.
Patrick
Good about that one.
Patrick Mahomes' passing prop at ESPN bet is 4,500, which is tied with Burrow for the highest in the NFL. So the market is expecting the Chiefs to be able to throw the football again.
By the way,
I think if you had just the sunglasses and not the gloves, it'd be easier to listen to the real analysis. But
there's nothing real. There's nothing real going on over here, Dan.
You guys are talking about being a camp, seeing guys. You're at training camp. You guys are all around the camps. I was at the Super Bowl last year when watching Xavier Worthy in person. So I got a little film, and I mean it was garbage time in the fourth quarter because they were losing to the Super Bowl champion Eagles. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there. I saw him. It was a good football game.
The thing about Mike is it's the humility that keeps us continuing to bring him back, right?
That's right. Oh yeah.
Graz, final pick in the 6th round, number 60 overall.
I was also at the Super Bowl, and I saw a guy catch a touchdown pass for the Eagles that's still on the board here that I really like. I can get a piece of the Eagles offense in the 6th round with a guy in Devontae Smith who catches everything, who if they do happen to throw it when they're inside the 10-yard line for a change, he's probably the guy that catches it. I'm taking Devontae Smith as my number 2 receiver already in round 6. Real run on receivers.
End of round 6, Devontae Smith, they call him the Slim Reaper in Philadelphia, is officially off the board. Wow, there you go. 10 more picks underway. And by the way, if you want to get in on the action, do so right now. Join us over here on ESPN Fantasy. We have seen. All right, back here, and look at this. We've got top available players, and there's a theme that we are sensing. 2 running backs and 3 wide receivers after a bunch of wide receivers just went off the board. Joe Mixon, one of the biggest question marks in all of fantasy football right now, as he is, of course, dealing with an ankle, foot thing. Perhaps more questions than answers on Joe Mixon and his status to return to the field. For the Houston Texans, 45 seconds back on the clock. We were into round 7. Dan Graziano, my friend, where are you going?
I was just making sure my guy was on that screen there. Otherwise, I'd be worried. I'm going to go with Zay Flowers. I need to keep beefing up a wide receiver. Zay Flowers, number 1 receiver in the Ravens offense, which I think has a chance to probably be pretty good. With
Sources
Lamar Jackson
confirmed
running
that,
it. Yeah. So, I've had him before. He's kind of hit or miss, but the hits are pretty good.
I'd say he reminds me a little bit of what Mike was discussing earlier with Garrett Wilson, is that there's just a little bit of a ceiling on this player relative to some of the other wideouts that have been drafted just ahead of him. But you're getting him in the top of the 7th round.
I'll tell you real quick, last year, the Chiefs at the Super Bowl, Chiefs coaches were talking about DeAndre Hopkins and how much he helped Xavier Worthy when he was there in the second half of last year. I wonder if he's going to have a similar effect on some of the guys in Baltimore.
Mike Clay back on the clock, who just reminded us, by the way, that the Chiefs played against the Eagles, his Eagles in the Super Bowl.
They sure did.
You want to gloat again or
I'm
no?
What's that?
You want to gloat again or are you good?
I mean, there's plenty of time tonight to get more.
The shirt is a perpetual.
It's doing the work for me. I'm going to go to Chicago here and take DeAndre Swift. Smart. I'm so sorry.
It was great.
It's not Roma Dunze. I didn't take Roma Dunze. I'm going to take DeAndre Swift. I think he's a little underrated right now. He is. This is kind of incredible. 6 seasons in the NFL so far. He's finished between 15th and 21st in fantasy points all 6 seasons so far. Just a very consistent RB2. Now you bring in Ben Johnson to this offense. He's had success with the running backs in Detroit.
But he didn't have success with Swift in Detroit. He was, in fact, the offensive coordinator in Detroit during Swift's last year, and
different time in both of their careers.
But also, who's his competition in Chicago? I don't know. I'm not worried about Roshan Johnson.
Facilitating conversation.
Pride or
facilitating conversation.
I'm with you. Look, I'm with you. I think he's an underrated player right now, so he's my 3rd running back. Happy to get him here.
Tyler, what do you got, buddy?
Yeah, I need to go wide receiver again. I hit my onesie positions and filled running back. There's 3 guys I like here. I'm going to go Jalen Waddle. I missed out on Tyreek Hill,
about him there.
So I will take Jalen Waddle. This is a flimsy offense because a lot can go wrong with Tua's health, with the offensive line. However, if this bet hits, if they stay healthy, if the defense is as bad as I think it's going to be, then you're looking at a guy here in the 7th round that I think could be a guy who puts up 1,100 yards and 8 to 10 touchdowns. So
love 8 to 10 touchdowns.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, I think that's a ceiling.
It's a bold. He's 6 over the last 2 seasons.
Love the pick.
Bold call right there.
Non-zero chance he is the Dolphins' number 1 wide receiver by the end of this upcoming year. And you did not draft Tyreek Hill, so you're not even hedging
I
against
missed out on Tyreek, but I'll take the
Daniel drafted him, right?
He did.
Sure did.
And speaking of Daniel, back on the clock in the 7th round.
Yeah, so in the 7th round here, mind you, this is going to be a truncated draft, right? I probably wouldn't go quite this early. However, you call them onesie positions. I call them island positions. There's one guy that I have left at the tight end spot that I have as a tier 3, which is a starter for me at the tight end spot.
Okay.
And for me, that's going to be Evan Ingram.
Nice.
Joker. Playing that Joker role in this Sean Payton offense. I would probably, like I said, wait a little bit longer, but knowing that I want to finish things out, I want to make sure that I can grab him here because after that, tight end just feels like it turns to dust. No offense to any of the other guys that are on the board, but
it called him dust.
I thought it did a while ago.
Yeah.
And by the way, since you said no offense, they can't actually take offense.
Exactly.
So you're totally in the clear
Even
there.
if you call him
Does anyone have a box of tissues?
Did you want him?
Probably,
Oh,
yeah.
that's your guy.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Woody's getting sniped all night.
Take one of the rookies. Wow. Look at that.
Thank you to Kevin Pulsberg, ace researcher and very fast researcher.
Don't look at me.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Moody. Liz Loza on the clock here, pick 65.
I know what she's going to do.
Wow. Why don't you tell America what Liz is going to do then?
I will.
Well, if you want to do, maybe. Try.
I mean, she's going to draft a wide receiver for her team that she loves, that she's been eyeing in every single draft, and she thinks he's going to be the number one wide receiver in that offense by the end of this year.
Are you saying Rome wasn't built in a dune's egg? Is that what you're saying?
I think that it is clear that Stefania and I spend a good amount of time together, but I am actually going to zag and not zig. I'm going to hit the running back position.
In your face.
I am going to, some might say reach. I think this person is completely undervalued. Isaiah Pacheco did bust last year. That's what happens when a player breaks their leg in the second game of the season. And to your point, Stefania, comes back way too early. So I would like the running back, the primary ball carrier who is attached to Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Actually, I would say, and I think people might say he came back too early, but when your team is making a Super Bowl run and a player can get back on the field, they want to be there, and you understand why the team, if it's medically safe, you want them out there. But people looked at him and said, oh, Isaiah Pacheco is not the same guy. Well, you try and be the same guy coming back off that injury right away. But now, after the offseason, coming back in, I think he's being totally undervalued.
Really
I love
good
Isaiah Pacheco this year.
Thank you.
Stefania, would you have considered taking him at 66, which is where we find you now on the clock?
I'm going to take Roma Dunze.
Nice job.
I do love Roma Dunze, and I think this is why Liz and I are so simpatico on this. I really think, Caleb Williams sought him out. He wanted him on his squad, and it was obvious that they were developing a little thing last year. And I think that's maybe why some of the DJ Moore luster has fallen off. I really think Roma Dunze makes a leap this year, and
it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Bears offense, because Ben Johnson coming from the Lions, they had a ton of weapons. The Bears have a ton of weapons, but we don't know how it's really going to shake out. Like they're saying, they've got a Dunze. Is DJ Moore going to be the guy?
67 during his football playing career. He is now on the clock.
You would expect everything to be better, though.
Yeah, listen, I just think, we talked about Patrick Mahomes, and might have been the worst offensive cast around him last year. I think it's going to be a lot better in Kansas City this year. I'm going Patrick Mahomes here.
There you go. Patrick Mahomes, who lasts until the 7th round. Of course, for people, this is a fantasy football draft. Some seem to not understand that. He's definitely going to have a better year than these past couple of seasons. He's had just 8 total games over the last 2 years with 20 or more fantasy points, but all the rhetoric out of Kansas City surrounds their desire to be more explosive this season. Eric Moody, have the tears been cleaned? Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. I'm ready. I'm going to go with Teteroa McMillan.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
Yeah, and so what I like about him, he's tall. He's 6'4", physical receiver, like from a film perspective. But I look back at Arizona. He handled a massive 34% target share.
Yeah.
And class high 52% air yard share last season, at Arizona. And you look at this Panthers team. He doesn't really have much competition at all to be their number one receiver. I know Clay has him projected, if my memory serves me right, I think for 121 targets. And so you're getting a number one receiver for a team with an up-and-coming quarterback and Bryce Young at this stage of the draft. I'm in.
I'd like to know how many players projections Mike has memorized.
Very few.
Very few. But 121 sounds about right for you?
I mean, it is. Technically, it's 121.2 targets.
Wow.
Wow.
It was a good effort.
Attention to detail matters.
Yeah. I mean,
Anita Marks.
Yeah. You got to be better, Eric.
2 picks left in round 7. You're up next. Who do you got?
Did I mention I can't stand drafting at 9? This is really a.
Shedeur Sanders, would you consider taking him with the T-shirt you have on?
Now's your chance.
Yeah. You may not make it back around.
Is he going to play one snap this season in the regular season? I don't think so.
Wow.
So
I think more than one.
Yeah, I don't think so. So, no. So the conversation that we had during the break, I'm going to go with Jaylen Warren. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers with Aaron Rodgers there, I think they're going to have to run the football. And
interesting
right now,
that he goes ahead of Caleb Johnson. Understandable, but interesting.
Again, based on the conversation we had during the break. You know, this is the benefit of being here with Dan and Shefty.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Jaylen Warren.
Caleb Johnson's got a pass block and to play with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And Jaylen Warren pass blocks his you-know-what off. So I think he's going to trust Jaylen Warren to be out there.
When Najee was on that team, I just felt like I loved watching Warren run. Like I felt like Warren, like I loved, he reminds me of a Pacheco when he runs.
I mean, Najee a lot of times wasn't doing nothing on the Steelers. Jaylen Warren came in and it was like, oh, he's got something.
If he reaches 15 carries in a game this season, it'll be the first time.
I'm not sure he could really
be
an
RB1. Since at least the 2023
but...
season. He had 0 games with 15 carries last year. But Najee was still around. Shefty, our final pick of round 7.
Well,
what are you thinking?
It's all about value. And there's a player here who's rated as the 63rd overall player. This is the 70th pick. I need a quarterback, and I'll take Baker Mayfield at pick number 70.
I like that.
I like it, Shefty. Obviously, there are questions about regression just because the way that he plays is less. As am I. I have as my quarterback 6 this year, ahead of the likes of Patrick Mahomes and Bo Nix and Brock Purdy. He was electric last season, and the Bucs have perhaps.
You may think there's going to be regression. I don't really think so.
A very good offensive line in the entire NFL. So 7 quarterbacks.
They returned every starter. They added Igbuka.
3 people
yeah, they lost the
OC,
but
I doubt anybody will take 2, but there's still some opportunity for them. Back here on our fantasy mock draft, round 7 in the books. Take a look at the picture of the recap, I should say. A little bit of everything there. We had a couple of quarterbacks, receivers, tight end, and also, of course, a few running backs. Round 8 is upon us. Adam Schefter is now back on the clock, having just taken Baker Mayfield. Reminder, 45 seconds per pick. Here we go.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth here, Field, but I'm going to settle in on the Tennessee Titans. I already have Calvin Ridley, and there's a running back that's going to get a lot of work.
Yeah.
Boring. Tony Pollard.
But
boring, but effective, and I'll take him. Put Tony Pollard on my team right now as my number 3 running back.
Tajay Spears right now.
2 of the top 10 players in total touches last season have not yet been drafted or had not yet been drafted until round 8. Tony Pollard and Najee Harris. Every player ahead of them had already been drafted by a long shot. Pollard, not a super exciting player, but definitely presents a pretty solid
Well, if Cam Ward, he looked pretty good in his one preseason game. Not that we base anything off that, but if he is good, then
Callahan as well.
So Tony Pollard will benefit from that when they stay on the field and they're not punting.
Number 72.
So I need
Mike?
I got this.
Yes.
Actually, I'm going to a different Mike, and that's Mike Rentz, my good friend in Oakland, who's convincing me to take Jacoby Myers with my pick. And I'll read the text messages verbatim. He caught 87 balls last season and now has an upgrade at quarterback with Geno Smith. 0 drops, by the way. Has the 17th most catches the last 3 seasons with a bad quarterback. And, oh, by the way, is in a contract year. And we all know what that means.
Could have a new contract before the season starts as well.
Well, let's hope not.
Good. I mean,
Don't get content.
Slacking.
Eric Moody with Jacoby Myers now off the board. You're up.
All right, so Team Moody's going with...
No tissue?
No, not for this one. I think the traps that have been set have worked well. I'm going to explain. So I'm going with Bo Nix here. And so I think what's fascinating here is that you got Bo Nix, who averaged 18.7 fantasy points per game last season, finishes a QB7. Great rapport with Cortland Sutton. And I know Clay mentioned in his playbook, it's on ESPN.com. Everyone should read that.
Appreciate that.
But the reason I'm saying that is because you mentioned don't overreach, for the big 4. I'm like, if you miss out, you got Fields, Bo Nix, Brock Purdy. They have the rushing ability like in common. I'll close with this, Field, and we'll keep going.
Okay.
You always want to monitor the supply and demand of positions as you draft, and especially with those that are drafting around you. So I noticed, you ended up drafting Joe Burrow earlier, so I knew you weren't going to take a quarterback here. And Schefter, you drafted Baker Mayfield, and so I was like, I'm glad, because I was afraid you were going to get Bo Nix. So I played chicken. I won this round. We'll see what happens next.
Wow.
I like it. All right.
D. Woody, that leaves, by the way, just 2 teams that have yet to take a quarterback in this mock draft. D. Woody, you took Patrick Mahomes already, so probably not going to be a quarterback here. What will it be at 74?
It's going to be a running back. I'm going to go with David Montgomery.
Okay.
I'm going to go with David Montgomery.
Money in the bank.
Yep, solid guy. Listen, Ben Johnson's not there, but Detroit, they're going to do what they do anyway. They're going to run the football, so I'm going to go with David Montgomery.
22 touchdowns over the past 2 seasons as a member of the Detroit Lions. A heart and soul player is David Montgomery.
Sounds good.
Stefania, the great Stefania Bell, back on the clock. What are you thinking?
You know, when you said you were going to take a guy who was a solid player, I thought you might be taking somebody away from me, but you didn't.
No.
Because I'm going to take Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
There's just no faith. No faith. People do not give him the credit that he deserves. You know, he cast aside from his team. The Green Bay Packers went to Minnesota, found new life, and looked really good doing it. Aaron Jones is going to catch a lot of passes from J.J. McCarthy, and we like pass-catching running backs, so add him to my bench.
If you see, though, his name on the draft board here, it now says Aaron. It doesn't say Aaron Jones. It says Aaron Jones Sr. because he's 30 now. So just add that, just so you know, you got to bump him down a few rounds.
I know.
I'm just glad.
Awkward silence.
Age-appropriate running back? Is that what I'm hearing?
I was expecting George Blanda.
Wow. Too far the other direction.
I know. Yeah.
Look him up, kids.
Yeah, I know. Woody, don't laugh so much.
We got a long way to go this season, so I'm with you.
Oh, man, only an hour left on this one here. A lot of unpredictability ahead. Liz, you're on the clock here. George Blanda, still available for the game.
I'm going to pass player, by the way. Daddy Blanda. Not quite my spot. But I will say, you mentioned a solid player. Stefania mentioned a high floor solid player. I would also like to draft a high floor solid player at a island position like tight end. It's one Mr. David Njoku, who's averaged 8 targets in back-to-back seasons. I actually like him a little bit more than Evan Ingram because of his prowess in the red area of the field. I don't know who else is going to eat in Cleveland, so
Jerry Jeudy.
The only question that I have is who's throwing him the football.
It doesn't matter.
Everyone's throwing the football.
When you got 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah, first would be Joe Flacco, then it would be Kenny Pickett.
But you'll be happy with Joe Flacco,
That's
right?
right.
You get 8 games of Joe Flacco, you'll be feeling great about Njoku.
Fantastic.
We'll take that all day long.
Daniel, back on the clock at 77.
Yeah, on the clock, and I already got 4 really good wide receivers, so I'm going to attack the running back position here. I got to be honest, Joe Mixon's still on the board, and I still don't like it, so I'm going to go with Caleb Johnson.
All right.
Okay. Good enough reason by me. We'll see whether Joe Mixon is even drafted in the potentially 11 rounds we get through tonight. Caleb Johnson, we'll see. He feels like a guy who probably has lost a little bit of steam so far this preseason, but volume's really good.
And I've got Devon Achane and Chase Brown. I can wait and let him be able to regain that steam before he even has to enter my starting lineup.
Pittsburgh feels to me like the potential for one of those backfields that just by the end of the year, it's just a total stay away, right? It's like neither one is valuable enough that he's a clear-cut starter in 10
Quit being
teams.
so mean to me. I'm going to fall in love with you. Come on.
Tyler, we're back on the clock.
All right, got to take my glove off to be able to operate this thing real quick. But we'll get back in business. I think I'm going to attack wide receiver again. This is going to be 4 in a row. A first rounder last year who missed much of the season because of injury. A terrible injury, actually, but then came on late in the season and could see a significant boost in his opportunity this year. Ricky Pearsall.
I like that pick.
Ricky Pearsall.
Honestly, Stoic Stefania keeping her cool over there.
Sorry. I was hoping that quietly he'd just make it back one more round. That's what I was hoping, but you listened to me.
He's a little down the board here, but I can't fault you for this one.
What was that again?
I wasn't talking to you.
Mike, you're back on the board here.
Yeah, I'm up here. So there's a lot of talk this round about getting safe guys, high floor guys, whatever. How about some upside here? I'm going to go with a guy that Field's been talking a lot about lately, Travis Hunter, early first round pick this year. I know he's going to play a little on defense, but I expect a featured role on offense. This is the time of the draft where, look, we're talking. Here we go. I got it.
I was going to say, he's coming back from injury, but someone's going to take Chris Godwin soon. They got to. I don't know if he's going to start the season.
I'm going to take that chance in the 8th round of the draft.
But he'll be good when he plays.
Look at that.
I like the Travis Hunter pick.
Again,
that is a good shirt.
A little small, perhaps?
I know. Medium for Mike.
Am I misremembering, or did you bring in prior years, like, larger sizes to accommodate the entire table?
No, these are
They're always your own t-shirt.
always mediums.
Got it. Grass, final pick here of round 8.
I feel like I made a mistake with my last pick going Zay Flowers because I needed another running back, and a lot of running backs have gone since.
Would you have taken Caleb Johnson if he was here?
I don't know. I really don't know. I've got to reset. I think Mike did just do the first snipe that I've got, the Travis Hunter. I had my eye on him while I was thinking more about running back. So let me throw another receiver in there I really like. and I'll think about running back in a break. I'm going to go with Chris Olave.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, #1 receiver in New Orleans still. We don't know
who's going to be throwing him the ball.
But yeah, I think the value's right.
Next
here
year,
for a guy
Arch
that
Manning
should
will be throwing him the ball, so he'll be
He
back
has
up the
a pair
rankings,
of
guys.
1,000-yard
Don't worry.
seasons on his resume, but man, what an interesting year it's going to be under center in.
Or Garrett Nussmeier if Arch comes
over
back.
1.4. Excuse me.
I was gonna say something coming around too with New Orleans is how fast they might play with Kellen Moore.
That would be good. Over 1.4 million teams have been drafted. Get in on the action. We have multiple rounds left ahead. Graz back on the clock when we come back. Take a look at the best available according to Mike Clay. I'm not going to lie, the last time we did
Cooper
this,
Kupp,
Jerry
too.
Jeudy was also on the
Diggs
graphic.
coming back
he is
from
joined
injury.
by 3 other wide receivers,
Looks
all
good
of
so
veteran
far,
status.
but
Chris
obviously
Godwin,
hasn't
Cooper
played
Kupp, and
anything
Stephon
yet.
Diggs. Shout out to Roflo for those that recall from way back in the day. Shout out to Cooper Kupp's hair. That is awesome.
Those are some good receivers. That shows you the depth of that position.
Yeah,
this year.
totally.
This is unbelievable. We're all done. We all have our starting receivers. I think we all have our starting flexes, and those receivers are still sitting out there.
Round 9 is upon us. Dan Graziano.
Yeah, that's why I wish I had gone running back there at the top of round 7, but I didn't. I got to do it now. Brian Robinson Jr., low ceiling, solid floor.
Yeah, totally dependable, right?
They're going to get the ball at the goal line. Yeah, Brian Robinson Jr. for my 3rd running back.
Yeah, I mean, they'll play, obviously, some of him and
offense.
Austin Eckler. There's been plenty of discussion about Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, 6th-round pick.
Robinson wasn't super healthy last year either, so if he is, maybe there's more to come.
He was awesome last year.
None of these guys are signed past this year, so everybody's got motivation.
Yep. Mike Clay, right back to you at pick number 82. Mike, you've been very patient at both quarterback and tight end.
I have. So, again, my game plan going in is to get one of the top 4 quarterbacks and certainly one of the top tight ends. However, again, I'm not going to force things if the board's not going that way. So if that doesn't work out and I have to pivot, I'm not going to now just take kind of a middling quarterback or tight end. I'm just going to wait at those positions and load up everywhere else. So that's what I did today. And now I'm going to have to go with quarterback and tight end because I've been told I have no choice over the next couple of rounds. So, spoiler alert, I'm taking Kyler Murray.
You didn't see that part of the fight.
No, I didn't. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Kyler Murray at this point in the draft is totally fine. He finished 12th in fantasy points per game, a quarterback last season. That's the worst finish of his entire career. He's been a QB1 through and through his whole career. And I expect better production this season as Marvin Harrison goes into year number 2. So give me Kyler.
There you go. Kyler Murray goes off the board.
Stacking Cardinals.
Yeah, a lot of Cardinals for Mike.
Oh, yeah, I got the stack. There you go. Yeah, Kyler Harrison.
Week 17
I mean, I knew what I was
the
doing.
Bengals, too.
Knew what I was doing the whole time.
Tyler and Mike have kept it so peaceful all throughout the night. I kind of felt like we were going to get some tension. Tyler, Devo wide receiber on the board. What do you got?
Yeah, sorry. Dot may be my new enemy after stealing his.
Again, I've taught you all so well. I don't need to.
4 straight wide receivers. Time to go back to the running back position and get some depth behind Jahmyr Gibbs and Breece Hall. Sean Payton knows how to produce running backs that produce fantasy points. I'll take J.K. Dobbins, who I could see it being a 50-50 split. Dobbins is going to probably have more of the work at the beginning of the season. He's probably more of the 2-down grinder, but Sean Payton always finds a way to throw footballs to his running backs. So maybe we see a year where Dobbins catches more balls than he ever has before. So I think he's good depth behind Jahmyr and Breece Hall.
Daniel Dopp, back to you, 84th overall.
I got to stop the slide here.
Okay.
It's just too far for Jerry Jeudy.
yeah.
I got to grab him. I don't really feel like I even need a wide receiver, but at this point, it's just taking the best player available on the board. He was top 12 in routes, targets, catches, yards, and total fantasy points last year. I made the joke, I don't know who's going to throw him the football, but he's clearly the wide receiver.
Well, the Browns
one
have
and
6
the number one pass
quarterbacks,
catcher
so
in that
a lot of
somebody's
people
going to
feel
throw
like
to
what
him.
happened last year was more circumstance than it was talent-driven. Reminder, he was the 17th pick in the draft. This is not some out-of-nowhere wide receiver emerging for just a short period of time. This is a legit pedigree player who is in Cleveland without much competition for targets. Liz, back to you at 85.
There are 2 running backs that I am considering. One of them has many more red flags than the other. That's kind of a kink, but I am going to be a little bit smarter. I'm going to be a little bit smarter. What's up?
It's red.
And
It's a different fantasy draft. Tell me more.
Speaking of kinks, Cam Scadaboo's tape is fantastic, right? We love it, but people fail to recognize, number 1, that he's dealing with a soft tissue issue, and number 2, that Tyrone Tracy is the Giants' #1 running back. He's going to start the season as the team's RB1, and I think that I am going to draft him for security, knowing that he is like my 4th RB at this point. So please give me Tyrone Tracy.
829 rushing yards last year for Tyrone Tracy. Played very well, taking over for Devin Singletary early on last season. And of course, as you all know, he can catch the ball. He was a wide receiver for 4 years in college. Stefania, what do you got at 86?
Well, Liz talks about zigging and zagging. I'll zag to your zig. I'm going to go with Cam Scatterbo.
All right.
I think that he will bypass your Tyrone Tracy as the RB1 by the time the season's over. I'm not that worried. Minor ailment for him right now. I think he showed his pass catching ability, and he showed true grit. Did you watch that bowl game?
Yeah.
I mean, he was losing his lunch, and he was still out there doing work. So
I concur.
I like tough
All 3
players.
ladies really watching that Scatterbo tape.
Yeah.
I
just
concur.
like saying Scatterbo.
And I live.
We know, guys.
I live a Tyler 7-iron from the Giants facility.
And longer than most 7-irons, guys.
So you live 95 yards?
Frame a reference there.
At this point, is everything a metaphor?
That's a conversation for a different show as
Mike,
well.
we'll explain to you after the draft.
But I can tell you that the Giants love him, love everything about him, and so I'm with you, Stefania.
Yep.
I think he's going to have.
And Adam, he
healthy,
fits my
he'll be a great
demographic.
He shatters the mold.
Oh, man. Sacramento State's finest to Arizona State's 2. That's Stefania's team. Damian, pick 87.
Yeah, I'm going to go with.
Damian's like, get me out of this conversation.
That was the perfect time for a Damian side. We needed it to just reset this thing.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to go with Jordan Addison.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Jordan Addison. I think, obviously suspended first 3 games, but I think as J.J. McCarthy starts to cook and really get up to speed, Jordan Addison's going to come through big time latter part of the season.
All right. So let's keep it moving. All right.
That's you, Moody. Yeah, let's do it.
Team Moody is going with Mark Andrews.
Okay.
Thank you. So just a little context here. I'm going to piggyback off of what Mike Clay mentioned when he was on the clock. You don't want to force things like in the fantasy football draft. I saw a message from my friend Sean Stone who was like, well, what are you going to do at tight end? And I'm like, I'm thinking as we go through this, I'll watch each and every one of you in this draft select the tight end. I just made a mental note of it. And I knew once we got to this stage of the draft, you're unlikely to take a tight end. But I'm looking at Mike Clay. I was like, Mike Clay does not have a tight end or a quarterback. So I was wondering if you were going to take Mark Andrews. So you took Kyler Murray. So I knew I was going Andrews here.
Yeah. I'm glad you took him because I don't want to. I'm nervous about him after what we saw last season. I know he scored the touchdowns and bailed you out, but the targets dwindled, and that is a big concern for me going forward. I still don't have an explanation.
I get it, but early part of the season, early season is all they got.
But here's one other thing to consider with this, though, is that going back to your projections, I'm like, you have Mark Andrews, and my memory serves me right, projected for the 2nd most targets on this team. And this is the Ravens team that ends up ranking, they led the league in total yards, and they finish 3rd in points scored. Now I get it. Tight end at this stage of the draft isn't ideal. It doesn't have a lot of sizzle. It's not sexy. But at this stage of the draft, I'm like, you can't pass up on a guy like Mark Andrews.
It could end up being such a huge value pick with Isaiah Likely now is injured. And also Mark Andrews there was a car accident we didn't hear much about. He was banged up to start last season. And he is a red zone threat. I think, you talk about your regression? Say he regresses the other direction.
We need targets to go up. If touchdowns are going down, we need targets up.
Anita, you're on the clock at number 89.
I'm going to go with the wide receiver who I think is going to be number 1, and I think he's going to have a quarterback that can actually throw the football to him, and that's Michael Pittman Jr., because I do believe Daniel Jones is going to win the job. If he doesn't win it at the beginning, I do believe that Daniel Jones is going to be the starting quarterback at some point in time. I would not take Michael Pittman Jr. if it was Anthony Richardson, because I don't think Anthony Richardson could throw the football.
One of my favorite targets in this range this year. 3 straight top 20 fantasy seasons before the disaster that was last year. So I'm with you. That's a Daniel Jones pick right there. If he starts, he should be in good shape.
There you go.
With some pacing, we'll get through 2 more rounds after we conclude round 9. But Shefty is still on the clock for number 90.
We're going to take a player ranked 78. Matthew Golden.
One of my favorite.
That's a good one there for rookies.
Overall.
At pick number
Buka and Matthew Golden.
That's the guy I was really debating between.
So we'll take him. We'll be happy with him. And
Extensive injuries to the Packers wide receiver corps right now. Pretty much everybody besides Matthew Gore.
They can't stop raving about him in Green Bay, too.
No surprise, he was the 22nd pick overall after running a 4.29 40 at the Combine. Take a look one more time at the recap of round 9. We had 4 running backs off the board, 4 wide receivers to match it, plus Mike and Moody took a quarterback and a wide receiver to get us to 10 selections. Plenty more ahead here, at least 2 more rounds, with some pace at least going forward. Oh, there you have it. Some sniping has taken place as we enter round 10. We're going to go rapid fire here, 45 seconds apiece. Adam Schefter, you're on the clock at number 91 overall.
Field, I filled all my positions. I've talked about value all night. We're here at pick 91, and there's a quarterback on the board I think is a good player, Brock Purdy. 89, we'll take him right now.
There you go.
That's personal. You know, there's only one of us that doesn't have a quarterback.
And that would be you, right?
You don't need a second quarterback. He's not even going to play for your squad. Who's your first quarterback?
Baker Mayfield. I got 2 choices now.
You got matchup. Pick a matchup.
We got the Cleveland Browns over here drafting multiple quarterbacks. No big deal.
Never know.
Nina Mark on the clock.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a wide receiver that Brock Purdy was throwing to last year, and that's Deebo Samuel in Washington with the Commanders. You know, I know we're all anticipating that Terry McLaurin's going to get the deal done. But, you know, if he does, I think it opens up things for Deebo Samuel in the middle of the field. If he doesn't, Deebo Samuel becomes number 1. We were talking about
Deebo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right?
All right, so Team Moody is going with
Forgot about Deebo.
Williams.
Wide receiver 44.
Ooh,
Crazy.
Yeah, so like you got a running back in Dallas who's you know, projected to be the top guy. I know Jaden Blue's there.
He's hurt though.
Yeah, and all these other
people. Dealing with a little bit of a heel issue, I think.
Yeah,
Jaden Blue. Yeah.
I'm looking at how this.
Jaden Blue, not Javonte.
Yeah, but I'm just like I'm looking at Williams here as my RB4. Like really can't go wrong with that. So
solid dart throw.
Yeah.
Damien, what do you pick 94?
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to go with another quarterback.
Okay.
Another quarterback.
You had 9 rounds.
I'm going another quarterback. I'm going Justin Fields.
Okay, there we go.
The Jets are going to run a ton this year.
Yeah.
And Justin Fields, particularly in the red zone, that rushing attack, going there.
Yeah, saw that rushing attack in specifically for Justin Fields in week 1 of the preseason. Yeah.
You got Brees Hall on your squad too, right?
No, I got
Brees. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Stefania, 95 overall. What do you got?
I'm going to take a wide receiver that I have been liking a lot from our mock draft times to now, and that's Emeka Egbuka.
Wow.
Really like
That
him.
drew some frustration from the rest of the table.
I
Nicely
know.
done.
It makes me happy.
Yeah.
Ibuka goes over Chris Godwin. Very
How about
interesting.
that?
Well, I think, listen, you know I'm a little bit risk averse, and Chris Godwin had to have a second surgery and is doing well, but there's not a timeline for him to come back. And with the 3-year deal, if I'm the Buccaneers, I want to ensure that he's able to play that out. So there's no reason to rush him.
I want him to be back for the playoffs
on the clock at 96.
Field, I like
especially the
dollars,
first part
I
of the year,
like diamonds,
Ibuka's going
I
to
like Stephon Diggs catching passes from Drake May.
Okay, Cardi.
Aha, I see what you did there. Stephon Diggs, okay, number 96 overall. He is also coming, I believe it is.
Dan needs a pop culture lesson.
I didn't get it either.
Cardi B line you just dropped right there?
I like Sutton, I like Shiny. No, okay.
Yep.
I didn't get it.
You don't have that t-shirt?
I like that.
Stephon Diggs also coming off of an injury. Unlike Chris Godwin, he has been available for basically the entirety of Patriots training camp. No PUP list for him. Daniel Dopp, 97 overall.
All right. Field, I like
think you need a
cupcakes,
quarterback.
I like puppies, and I like Dak Prescott. Right? For what it's worth.
I didn't get that one either.
If I got to wait this long to be able to draft a quarterback, and I got 2 hooligans that are just doing who knows what in the draft, Dak Prescott is the guy that's my next highest rated quarterback. He's my QB 11. We've seen him be a literal MVP candidate just a few years ago. And Moody earmuffs, I know you just drafted the running back. I'm not concerned about the rushing attack here. Adding George Pickens, got CeeDee Lamb. I think Jake Ferguson, maybe someone Mike would target later on in the draft, looking for a tight end. I just think they're going to throw the ball a heck of a lot in Dallas this year.
Tyler Fulgham back on the clock at pick 98.
This is a little bit of a risk. He might be cooked, but if he's not, Cooper Kupp is a guy in a PPR format who could be a nice security blanket for Sam Darnold and catch 5, 6, 7 passes each and every game. So on the bench, I like Cooper Kupp.
I wanted you to do worse so bad tonight. You're doing a good job. I like Cooper Kupp. That's a good pick.
All right, Mike, pick 99 to you.
Yep. Well, I gotta fill a gap in the lineup here, so we're going tight end, and I'm going to go for the ceiling play here. There's a safe option, Tucker Kraft. I'm going to go for ceiling with Colston Loveland. A rookie tight end has led the position in fantasy points 2 years in a row. That doesn't mean it's going to happen again, but the position seems to be evolving. And Loveland was an early first-round pick for a reason. Also, one of those guys that was a rookie tight end that led the position in fantasy points 2 years ago was Sam Laporta.
It was.
His
offensive coordinator is now the head
coordinator.
coach.
Is that, was of course Ben Johnson, who's now Colson Loveland's coach. So give me Loveland.
We have gotten through 99 picks, which brings us to the last pick of round 10, number 100 overall, Dan Graziano.
I normally take everything Stefania says as gospel, but at pick 100, Chris Godwin, the value is too good to pass up. If he does come back this year, he was pacing to be an absolute monster last year. I got to take him.
He was like a top 8 wide receiver last year when he was playing.
Yeah.
Even if you get half a season of Chris Godwin,
he was one, I think,
at close to peak
level. The plan is for him to come back. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I got you.
No. That's all.
Great value.
All right, there you have it, 100 picks in, which that number is a lot, but it pales in comparison to the number of teams drafted so far. 1.432 million. Join in on the action by heading over and joining ESPN Fantasy. We can't wait for you to be a part of our team this season, and we still have more drafting coming up next. Round 11 here on the clock for our fantasy draft. Let's get things rolling again with Dan Graziano, pick 101.
Gonna need a running back here again. Still don't like my choices. I don't know how it's gonna shake out in Jacksonville, but Travis Etienne's only a year removed from being a top guy. I'm gonna take a shot on Travis Etienne.
One of the most interesting backfields in the entire NFL right now is down in Jacksonville. Mike, pick 102.
I will take a quarterback lottery ticket. I'm going to go with Drake May in New England. Better support pass. He can run the ball. He could throw it. A lot to like there. It could be the breakout player in fantasy this year. Give me Drake May.
And
my guy.
A T-shirt. Yes. Tyler Fulton, pick 103.
Yeah, same thing. I'm just going to pick a running back, Ramondre Stevenson. We know Trevion Henderson.
I was going to say Ramondre's technically the starter. I'm not saying that's going to last, but Trevion went in like round 4.
Daniel Dopp, now you at 104.
I love that Tyler just drafted that scrub and didn't take the running back that I wanted, which is Jordan Mason. He's going to come off the board to me here. I need a third running back. I love him in this Minnesota backfield.
Okay, Jordan Mason, who of course got traded this offseason from San Francisco to Minnesota. Liz, 105.
It's an excellent pick, Daniel Dopp. You know what? I don't have a single Bear on my squad, and I don't really need a quarterback because I have Jalen Hurts. But why not draft Caleb Williams so that I can at least play along and not need to rely on him emotionally or in my fantasy?
A lot of upside.
It's a sign of faith right there from Liz. All right, Stefania, 106 to you.
I was debating what I was going to do here, but why not add a 49er just, to end my draft on a high note? I'm going to go with Juwan Jennings, even though, the talent we saw it last year and dealing with a calf/business issue. So, but he's deep on my bench. Deep on my bench. So when everything's resolved, and I believe that it will be, I'll have him available.
Every time he plays, he produces. Damian, 107 to you.
I'm going to go.
Oof. There it is.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was a hardy one.
It's round 11, so.
I'm going to go Jaden Blue.
Okay.
All right.
Blue, the lottery ticket.
I like Jaden Blue.
Cowboys backfield. Of course, they drafted two
Super
backs on day
fast.
3 of the draft. Blue out of Texas, and also Bill Maffa from Clemson. Blue can flat out scoot. Moody, last one, make it count.
All right, I'm going with Austin Eckler here. So
I agree.
End of analysis.
Speaks for itself.
I was about to get some words out, but no, I like Austin Eckler as a like in this case he's what my RB like 5.
Sure.
I'm like he's very capable as a receiver out of the backfield and as a rusher, and I feel good about him this year, especially from like a health perspective, despite like his age. So.
He could lead one of the best offenses in the NFL in snaps this year, and certainly he'll get opportunities in the passing games.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anita, you got a big stack of T-shirts still left. Will you take a player who is from that stack?
Yeah, we're too deep in the draft. I don't have.
Is that a Dak Prescott shirt? You didn't get
It is.
What?
It is. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't hold it against you.
Here
I'll hold it
is
against
Dak
me.
Prescott. Wait, did you just take Caleb? There you go, sweetheart.
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to go with Jerome Ford.
I like it.
Right? Yeah. Didn't they just didn't their rookie running back get in trouble?
Yes.
Quinshon Judkins, yes, he's facing some very serious allegations.
Ford should be busy early this year. Yeah.
There we go. Okay, done.
Or
Yay.
Dylan Sampson, too.
You want to go twice here quickly?
No, you can go once, but you can give us a preview of who you take in the next one.
Tajay Spears to now lock in the Titans backfield in its entirety. To go along with Tony Pollard, and I'll have an interesting pick coming up.
Okay. Well, we're actually not going to reveal any more of the picks, so you can just give us a hint if you want to.
It'll be a tight end.
Tight end. Okay, there you have it. Okay, 11 picks. How about that? 11 of the 10 picks, in the 11th round. That was a rapid-fire round. 1.44 million teams have been drafted. Can we push for 60,000 more drafts in the last 30 or so minutes of programming here? I believe that we can to get to that 1.5 million number. That will be excellent. We'll do some recaps and some more fun in just a bit. It's time for us to do a little bit of Professor Clay action as he works through his favorite and perhaps not favorite teams. In our mock draft here, we have an esteemed panel of 10 drafters. Mike Clay has found the 2 teams he likes the most and one that he is not quite as optimistic on. Mike, would you like to reveal said teams?
Yeah, we'll start with the team I'm viewing as the second best team in the draft, and that belongs to Daniel Dopp.
Curry some favorites.
Stand by field.
After that rough start to your night, look at that.
I know.
Here's, and that's Team Dopp selection.
There's your squad. So you did wait a quarterback. I think quarterback's a spot you're going to have to work on, but we're going to look at waivers after this draft. You're still going to have some options out there, so not worried about Dak Prescott there, but love the running backs. Devon Achane and Chase Brown
great about
are going to catch a ton of footballs. Everyone knows I was always really high on Devon Achane. Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows you,
but I was the guy that was on him. Love the wide receivers with Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Garrett Wilson. I asked you that question, but it didn't mean I didn't like it. It was good value. Rashee Rice, of course, Jerry Jeudy. Your bench is loaded with starting caliber options, and Evan Ingram at tight end. So like me, you waited at quarterback and tight end, and it came together very nicely.
Daniel, talk us through your team's mindset right now. Is your team motivated to win the Super Bowl this year? We just happen to be part of the show.
100%. Listen, I'm one of those Dan Campbell guys. It's all about grit and biting off kneecaps, and this is what this squad is made of, right? So we're doing it. We're going to repeat it again here.
So you were the not best team, but you were the second best team, which means that somebody had the best team. In Mike Clay's eyes, that team was.
Yeah, I just want to say that before I say who this team is, this person has threatened me in the past on this show if I gave them a bad grade. However, this is not why I'm giving Damian Woody an A+.
Oh,
Well done. Crushed it. And this is just value-based drafting. Just crushed it the whole way. Gets Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. The running backs are Saquon Barkley, James Conner, David Montgomery.
A lot of Eagles.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
Someone cracked the grading system.
How many people watching right now are going to get Saquon Barkley at 7 this year?
Yeah.
Very few. Not to mention A.J. Brown at 27. So you have A.J. Brown, Nico Collins, Cortland Sutton, Jordan Addison at wide receiver, and George Kittle at tight end. Top to bottom, just a very good, solid squad that's going to compete. Well done.
This would be like having Trent Williams, prime Zach Barton, like, your former teammate Nick Mangold at center. Just keep it rolling all the way across.
Yeah, we're
in a fantasy version.
Yeah, we're pounding the the sand, baby. We're good to go. I just follow my gut, man. I just follow my gut. Led me to the right direction.
Am I right to guess, Stefania, that you like this team because you got sniped by Damian a couple times?
I did get sniped by Damian a couple times. That's good drafting, I also set you up to get that value with Saquon Barkley because I took CMC. So
that is true.
I gave you the assist in the Mike Clay grading.
Well, you're a great teammate.
This is granddad strength right here.
I look out for you.
That's what it is.
It's Damian's granddad strength coming into play.
Yes, very much so.
All right, well, unfortunately, there is somebody who did not do so great in Mike's eyes. Mike, ever the gracious teammate, has decided to call that person out on national TV.
I did. But before I do that, I just want to say something, Tyler. I just want to before I get to that, I just want to say, look, people don't know this, but this is a marathon for all of us. But for Tyler, it was truly a marathon. You were up at 4 a.m. yesterday.
That's true.
To host 7 a.m. SportsCenter.
That's true.
Then you were doing EBL, SportsCenter throughout the day.
Are you saying I drafted like a tired person today?
You did FF Now last night, more TV all day today. This draft, you clearly didn't get much sleep, and I just got to say, it showed. It showed. Hit the draft results here.
Wow.
0. That's how many championships there were. It turned out that was appropriate. It turned out that worked out beautiful.
What? Jameer Gibbs? Trey McBride?
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson? There's no way.
I think your grading
system's off.
The problem is you just sniped everyone and you were rude about it, Tyler.
I mean, honestly, I had to put you last on principle at this point.
Yeah. The team has now been revealed.
I had to put you last on vibes, right?
Vibes.
Is that okay?
I'm sitting here staring at this team for the record. I like it, Tyler.
Shefty likes it. Field likes it.
Jahmyr Gibbs, Trey McBride, Lamar Jackson, and Devontae Adams. Hello.
I know.
I have
What don't you like about it?
Hall. He doesn't like Tyler.
Oh, yeah, I don't like Tyler. I don't like the guy. It's like sometimes we're like, that team's really talented, but the coaching's a concern. That's it. I mean, he's going to run this thing into the ground.
They got a diva head coach.
Yeah, that's
I think Tyler needs one of these two guys to have a decent role in his offense, J.K. Dobbins or Ramondre Stevenson, because Breece Hall can make you a little bit nervous as your RB2.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to sit here and say like anyone did a bad job because we all know what we're doing. We all drafted very well, but I just on principle just had to go after Tyler. I mean, it's a tradition. It's a marathon tradition every year.
Sorry, that's not for you, Shefty. That's for
That could be for me.
Mike is saving his venom for Sundays on Fantasy Football now.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that. By the way, these are just 10 of the 1.456 million teams that have been drafted so far already. Be part of the millions of people that have joined ESPN Fantasy and enjoy an incredible experience with that sweet new look app. And we're going to put a bow on the 2025 Fantasy Football Marathon just after this. Tyler Fulgham might change an outfit again. Who knows? It's been that kind of day. Oh, man, we hope you all enjoyed it with just a couple minutes left here on the Fantasy Football Marathon. Right,
well, my personal draft isn't for a while, but that was
if I could,
pretty
I'm
thorough,
my
helpful.
Fantasy draft with
Bucky Irving.
Still got plenty of time, though, to look through this stuff and try to put together a team.
And of course, being the Jaguars kicker who just drilled a 70-yard field goal.
Justin Jefferson. He's quarterback proof.
That's a good answer right there as well. Anita?
McConkey.
Lad McConkey, you got him tonight.
I did.
All right, so mission accomplished for you, Stefania.
Yeah, give me George Kittle, a value pick, but still a top-tier tight end.
Okay, George Kittle. There you have it, Mike.
Wait, what about you? Come on, you're in the line.
I got lots of answers. I'd love to go with one of Trey McBride or Brock Bowers.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I would say one of the big four quarterbacks, but I want to go deeper than that. I'm going to go Matthew Golden. I got sniped tonight, but I want him on my team this year.
Yeah, for me, it's Cortland Sutton. Love the value, and there's obviously upside there with Knicks.
Almost got him tonight.
Yeah,
almost.
Almost.
I really like Isaiah Pacheco as a value.
Ooh, good pick right there. Got him.
No complaints there as an RB2 or 3.
I would have said Bowers, Trey McBride, but George Pickens, who I did end up with, I think he's good value at that area at wide receiver.
And I'm going to say Chase Brown. I absolutely love
that's your guy.
We know.
I'm all in on Chase this year.
All right, there you go. Good answer. Jamar Chase to Chase Brown. Tyler, excellent outfit all night, truly.
Thanks to this guy right here.
Half of it's mine.
Thanks to
Thank you.
Yeah, but the cleats. When will be the next time that you use those cleats?
Don't tell him where I bought them, but I'm going to send them back.
As we reach the final minute of our 2025 ESPN Fantasy Football Marathon, it is important to note that this does not get done without the support of what feels like a cast of thousands. There are so many people both in front of and behind the camera, especially those behind the camera, that help to make this happen. We have an amazing season on tap ahead of us here at ESPN Fantasy. But from all of us, huge thank you to everybody that helped make this possible. Anybody interested in playing in some leagues this year?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, we're not done yet. Back to work.
Back to work.
Let's go. Right back to it.
Okay. Do we have a new magazine coming out?
Many more drafts.
We told you nearly 1.5 million teams have been drafted. 1.46. I'm going to wait. 4 teams drafted and counting. Fantasy football now returns Sunday morning of week 1. We'll see you all then. Thanks for everybody for watching the 2025 ESPN Fantasy Football Marathon.